Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sana Sendoff Show, a very special episode of Vtuber Talk. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We're going to have a good time. For those of you who might not be aware, who are watching this after the fact, this show was being done live on July 28th. It's just a couple days before the graduation of Tsukumo Sana of HoloLive Council. She's going to be the first member of Council and of HoloLive EN to graduate. She's been with us perhaps a bit less than we'd like for her to have been here, but so things go, life goes on. We are here tonight to celebrate the legacy and the impact, pun half intended, of Sana on the VTuber community and on individuals as a whole. We're here tonight to celebrate and to really look back fondly on the time that we had with her. And the only real rule we have for tonight, it's going to be in the chat and I'll reiterate it a couple of times, but if people could please refrain from any speculation on the why of her graduation. That we want to be remembering fondly. You can talk about any memories or just general emotions that you have towards Sana in the chat, but we want to keep things positive and we want to keep it just in the now appreciative. So thank you all so much for being here. We're really, really excited. We're going to have a good time. And please welcome my first of 5 guests for this evening, LILRYA PRISVIELLE. Ria, are you there?
Hello!
Hello, welcome on in. All right, folks, I think I have all my audio levels set. If there's anything that is either too loud or not loud enough, let me know. I actually was able to find Sana's BGM from her debut stream to use as the BGM tonight. The music that you heard during the loading screen was actually done by Arkhand, who will be on shortly. But yeah, hopefully everything is doing well. Ria, it's great to have you here. That we have not actually spoken a bunch before, that you've not been on my show before, but funny enough, I did this for Coco's graduation last year, and that was the first time I had a couple of folks on my show for that, and I'm pretty sure that at this point, everyone who has been on the Coco Appreciation Show has since had a proper episode of VTuber Talk, so there's my intent right out in the open. But I'm glad to have you here tonight, even if it's for perhaps bittersweet circumstances.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. So, if memory serves, you debuted a little bit after Sana, but my guess is that you were probably aware and involved in the VTuber community in some capacity, even just as a fan, prior to debuting as Ria. So, were you aware of Sana before graduation? Were you at the debut? Did you learn about her after the fact? What was your first interaction or discovery of Sana?
Yeah, so I actually had been following HoloLive even before HoloMyth debuted. I was a pretty big fan of Inugami Korone and also Pekora. So I knew of, because I was a pretty big fan of VTubers in general. Not just HoloLive, like the OGs, Kizuna Ai, Kaguya Runa, and that's kind of like what segued into my discovery of HoloLive. And then I found that's when, like, after EN kind of blew up, like that's kind of what, that started my inspiration for, like, when I saw HoloLive EN get that big, I was like, whoa, I speak English. Could I perhaps also maybe be a VTuber? And that's kind of like what ignited my interest more. And then I was a big fan of HoloMyth, and I was kind of following them through their careers and their streaming journeys, and I watched their debuts and stuff.
So I'm guessing you were actually really anticipating the announcement of Council in that case.
Yes, as soon as Council was announced, as soon as HoloLive released the trailer, I guess you could say, and like revealed all of them, I was really hype.
Well, there was 3 trailers for them that they had the full-on lore and everything.
Oh yeah, I was down for that. I watched their debuts. I was really excited for it. I thought like immediately the moment I saw them, I was just like, oh, they're so cute. So yeah, I knew about Sana pretty much from when she debuted, from the moment she debuted.
Were you there for the debut itself?
I was. I'm gonna be completely honest. Oh gosh, I've watched so many different VTuber debuts at this point.
That's fair, and especially over the past couple of weeks that there's been a lot.
I've watched so many that I couldn't tell you like really specific details about it, but I did watch all of Holo Council's debuts, and I remember specifically like when I first saw all of their, I guess you can say, models for the first time, when they were all fully released and we got to see what they all looked like. I thought Sana just immediately stood out, like from the beginning. Like they all had beautiful designs, right? But and this might be like the slight artist nerd in me kind of like rearing its head, but Sana's model, actually, I thought the shading was actually something that was really unique in her model. Like the art style and the shading was it was different from anything I'd really seen before. It seemed a lot more painterly as compared to the others, and so like that immediately, just as an artist, stood out to me, because that type of like coloring and shading style is something I love a lot. Like it's something I can't do, and therefore I appreciate it that much more.
Very fair. And I suppose after the fact, finding out just how artistically inclined Sana is, that actually is all the more fitting. I myself am completely unartistic at all, so I can usually tell when art is done well, but I do not have the eye for many subtleties. So the things you just said of shading, like, I'm gonna have to go back now and hopefully be able to appreciate it even more, because admittedly that's not the type of thing that necessarily catches my eye, but I think it's so cool that you, as someone who is really artistically inclined, was able to sort of spot that and appreciate it, and that it fits so well for what we now know of Sana, that obviously she did.
I loved it.
Yeah, because one thing I was reminded of recently was the fact that she did the art for all of Holo Council's the tapestry, their first piece of merch.
Yes, that also immediately just kind of like drew me more to her, because I think a lot of artists like this is kind of, I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of it's like common knowledge, I guess, but like as an artist, seeing somebody that talented, it kind of just like makes you look up to them even more. So like
Mm-hmm.
if I like the fact that her design already stood out to me for that the reasons I specified before, like if that wasn't enough, like when I saw what she drew, like what she was capable of, I just remember like my mind was just blown because I was like, how are you that talented? I was amazed. I thought it was like absolutely just like her talent is undescribable. And then also this might sound a little bit strange, but because I am such a huge Pokemon nerd, the whole time and space thing with
Oh
Koni
yeah,
and
that's
Sana,
true. Mm-hmm,
that also like just made me just that like that made me kind of more drawn to them like even more because you know, time and space, I was just like
Yeah,
tell
no,
me
that's I am a huge Pokemon nerd myself, and that's
yeah.
you know, the central part of Gen
uh
4 of Pokemon with Palkia and Dialga, which funny enough
yeah.
is the remakes that they played. And actually, one of the clips that I was watching just earlier today, actually, of Sana's was her shiny hunt for the shiny Rayquaza, and
Mhm.
the way that she absolutely, for lack of a better term, she was hyperventilating when she found the shiny Rayquaza. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Oh my
Um,
god, I love how she reacts to things. I mean, I guess that's why she makes for such a good entertainer. But just the fact that all of her reactions, like her excitement when she gets excited about things, it's so genuine
oh
and
yes,
so like
absolutely,
it's just so fun to watch. Like it's just like just actual serotonin. You know,
absolutely. That
like
it's like
she herself.
some
Just
folks that stream, whether it be face cam streamers or VTubers, will crank up their reactions to 11 for content. And you know what? That's fair. That if you're going to be an entertainer, of course you're going to be that extra
Mhm,
bit of energetic. But
mhm,
you're absolutely right that for Sana, it certainly feels like that's just her all the time. That she
yeah.
is a energetic person. It that's one of the things that really actually grabbed me during her debut. That she was very trying to figure out what the proper term is. That just you're so chipper, so bubbly, and
Mhm.
just so full of joy. Really, that she's always someone who's really smiling, and that you can tell it doesn't take a lot for her to smile. That she's not forcing a smile. That goodness knows she's been through her fair share of hardships, especially in the past
Mhm.
year. That she's
Mhm.
been through a grinder, honestly, and
Mhm.
that she's been able to really work through all that, and that seeing those moments of just pure elation are so fun. I think those are a lot of the ones that are going to be the clips that people continue to go back and rewatch a lot after her graduation.
Right, yeah, and speaking of like just her like general excitable and energetic personality, I think it's actually really awesome that like despite I guess not I guess despite's not the right word. I guess like aside from the fact that she is just generally a very like excitable and very like you know just a very energetic person, like her streams also have always to me had like this level of comfiness to them. It makes them so easy
Mm,
to watch. Like
yeah.
she gets like when she gets excited and then like the rest of like her streams like they're so like you know you have like your comfy streamers, you have your chaotic streamers. It kind of feels like Sana like has kind of taken the good aspects of both and kind of merged
Yeah.
into like her own little thing, which I think is really really
Hmm.
awesome.
I know exactly what you mean. That she's not the just raw chaos of Bay. She's not the constant soft spokenness of Fauna, but that she has this really nice blend of both, and that you
Mm-hmm.
have those crazy hyper moments when she's just so excited about something, but then at other times, if it's art or if she's playing a calmer game, that it's going to be that more easygoing, and you really do get that variety in her and in her content.
And I think that makes it just like it makes it really like not just easy to watch, but like there's something for everybody there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you're somebody that prefers more comfy streams, you could watch some of her comfier streams. If you like something more chaotic, you could watch more of her like you know, streams that have more of like her energetic, excitable nature in them.
Yeah.
And I personally, I really actually just love watching her Minecraft streams.
Mm,
Because I could literally just listen to her talk all day.
yeah.
I could just listen to her talk all day and listening to her like she, because she just, you know, like during her Minecraft streams, like just listening to her talk about what she's building or like what she's doing or just like talking in general, I literally could just listen to her speak all day for hours. Like I guess part of it is because I like her accent so much. I think it's really charming, but I also just I love the way she interacts with her chat too. Like it doesn't feel like a lot of the time it doesn't really feel like a streamer talking to their chat. It kind of just feels like she's talking to like friends.
Yeah.
And I really love that aspect to her.
Yeah, she's good at just sort of having that, buddy on the couch type of vibe that, obviously, there is the separation, parasocial relationships are bad, folks, but that, as a streamer, there's different styles of how you interact, and that she definitely tends toward that a bit more casual, easygoing, and I definitely know what you mean when you talk about that style of interaction that she has.
I really love that about her. It's just, I get so much serotonin just from like listening to her.
Yeah. And you mentioned her accent. It actually occurred to me, technically speaking, I think she is the first Australian member of Hololive because you do have Bae, but she debuted technically afterwards. So unless I'm forgetting someone, that there is Hachima, who I know was in Australia for a time, but not Australian. I think she would be the first Australian member.
Yeah, technically the first Australian member, yes.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little badge of honor there.
Yeah, since she debuted earlier, she is the technical first Australian member of Hololive. Yes. But that's also like I just have a thing for accents, and I think her accent is just so nice, and her voice in general is just really soothing. I just really like the general tone of her speaking voice, like which I think also something else I like about her regarding that is that when I first saw her model before like we really heard their voices, I was expecting her to have like a deeper voice. I guess that makes sense, kind of like Crony. I thought she was gonna be kind of like that, because her model kind of very much gave that like impression to me. Like she was tall, she was very shapely, she had that kind of vibe to her when I first saw her. And I think the gap, because I'm a sucker for gap moe. I'm a sucker for like gap anything. The fact that like she has this kind of appearance, but then her voice is like higher toned, and she has this like really kind of, I want to say like a childish sense of humor, but like in like a good way, you know what I mean? Not like immature, but like it's very different from what I expected, but that like just made me like her even more.
Yeah, you mentioned the sort of speculation, I suppose, on her voice, and that's something that I realized this past week that for those who might be watching after the fact or who might not have kept up with the broader VTuber community news, we're actually just coming off a weekend of a bunch of debuts that Holo Stars EN Tempest just debuted this past weekend, as did Niji Sanji EN, I believe it was Wave 6.
Illuna,
I got the number right? Yes, Illuna. And so there have been a lot of debuts lately, and one thing that I realized or recently, I guess I've always been aware of it, but I didn't really register it until this weekend, was that for whatever reason, Niji Sanji, whenever they announce new talent and that they have that hype trailer, that they give the talent one line, one recorded vocal line that you get to hear their voice, just a tiny snippet before their debut.
A little teaser, yes.
That little teaser, but Hololive never does. At least not to my knowledge, that I cannot recall them in any of their announcement trailers ever having a voice line, that they always show the models and they, have the hype package and all the assets there, but you don't hear their voice until debut. And it is actually sort of, just one of those little fun points of speculation of, oh, I wonder what they're going to sound like, because you have the models and are able to draw certain conclusions or preconceptions about it. And that, I think, is sort of the charm of the debut, of just waiting to hear, all right, what is the voice?
And I remember being like I liked that element of surprise. I liked that she sounded so different from what I expected, but like, just that just made me I loved that so much about her. Like the moment I heard her, I was just like, oh my god, she sounds so cute. She sounds so cute. But then she like she has all the like good, like the way she looks, like she has all the I guess, shall I say, the I'm trying not to be down bad.
She has all the assets.
She has all the wonderful assets of like kind of like a more like I guess the mommy-esque category of VTubers, but then she like sounds so adorable, and it's so nice. I love that gap so much.
And I feel like no matter what people might guess or speculate or wonder about the voices, that, you know, as soon as they start speaking, your brain just sort of locks into oh, of course this is the voice. How could it be anything but this voice?
Exactly.
That, you know, by the end of that stream, everyone's, at least whenever I watch the debuts, I feel like it's just a very interesting thing that the human mind does with VTubing, of that you are able to then, like you would for any IRL person, be able to associate the voice with the face, and that, of course, that's just natural. That's how it is, and the idea of it being something else seems foreign.
Yeah, because before she debuted and all we got to see was the model, like in my head I had kind of been like, oh, she's gonna, you know, she's gonna have like a deeper voice, you know. But then when I heard her for the first time, I was just like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's what she sounds like. That's like, it fits so well still, like despite being something I initially didn't expect. Like now I can't imagine her sounding like anything else. I can't imagine any other type of energy from Sana, from when I see her and what she is and what she looks like. I can't imagine it being any other way, and I don't think it would have given us the same charm if she didn't have the like really adorable energetic voice she has.
Absolutely. Do you have any favorite streams of hers?
So I do really like watching her Minecraft streams. I was recently actually, I had a lot of people asking me to play Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and she's and I want to watch her play that so bad, but I've been like having to hold myself back because I don't want to spoil myself to anything. But it's like, I've seen like
it is a lot of fun
it.
watching her play.
Yeah.
That she loves Kirby. She's
I
you know, you want to hear her
I
having that just
know.
joyful, excited thing. That heck, watch her play just the first stream of Kirby she did. That way it'll be minimal spoilers, but you'll get all of those first reactions because they are really delightful. So maybe that's what you do.
I
That
love them.
it
Yeah, I
took
love
her a
seeing all
number
the
of
art and
streams.
stuff.
Yeah, it took her a number of streams, so you can watch that first one, and even if you're spoiled just a tiny bit, it's not going to actually get to the later parts of the game, and that way you can still play and enjoy it yourself.
Got you. I will make sure to do that, because I've been wanting to watch her play it, because I've seen all the like art and stuff on Twitter of the Kirby memes of Sana. The foil. But I've just been like, oh, I can't watch it because I want to play it. Oh, but I want to watch it so bad. I suppose I'll have to compromise. Just watch the first stream. But yeah, I actually like a lot of the times when I work and stuff, I like to just have things playing in the background, kind of like, I guess, like white noise, like just have like something playing in the background.
I don't like operating in silence.
Yeah, whether it's like music or like recently I've been watching The Office. I've been rewatching The Office in the background. But a lot of the times, if I literally just will have like, I think it's Sana more than anybody else in Hololive Ian, because I pull up streams of like all like tons of different streamers that I like watching, but I think it's just Sana's energy. Like I think I just have her streams playing in the background the most often, especially when I'm drawing. And I just have her voice in the background, and it's just really nice and comfortable.
Yeah,
it keeps me in a good mood.
And one of the nice things is that even with her graduation, that her members only streams will be going away after a couple of months, but that's not even a whole live thing. That's just a sad function of YouTube's content storage, that when a channel is demonetized, that member only streams go away. They don't actually have a switch that you can flick to say, all right, make these all public. But that the backlog of all of her public streams will remain accessible. Her channel's going to remain up. That she's being given the proper graduation treatment. That we're fortunate enough that she is exiting on her terms, on good standing, and that she's had the time to be able to have that last. I think she called it the collab cram, which I think she did 4 or 5 collabs in one day. That just marathoning them to make sure that she was able to get some time, and that those streams will still be accessible. That if you want to go back after the fact, after a year or however long, and rewatch Kirby and the Forgotten Land after you've beaten it and everything, or want to be able to relive the full slog of however many times it took her to find that shiny Rayquaza, that you're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah. I'm glad that the VODs and stuff will still be there for us to enjoy even after she's graduated.
For sure. Now I'm gonna ask. This is sort of an unfair question, but sorry. I gotta ask it. I gotta get some sort of emotional reaction here. If you could send a special message to Sana, what would you say?
Hi, Sana. I just wanted to say, I think... Oh, gosh. I just wanted to say, I think, I'm sure... I hope this is something that you already know, but I wanted to just say it really quick, that you've been just a huge inspiration to a lot of people, a lot of VTubers, and just like your fans in general, not just your VTubers. And I really hope that even after you graduate, you know that you've had such a profound impact on a lot of us. Like, you inspire me every day to just be kind to everybody around me, because watching you interact with other members of Hololive and interact with your fans and your viewers, it's just very clear how genuinely kind and down to earth you are. And I think it's something that's a little bit... It shouldn't be rare to see in today's society, but it is. And seeing somebody just be so genuine and just a good person to everybody is just... It's really touching to see, and it inspires me every day to just be a better person and be a good person to the people around me, and just be kind and treat people the way I want to be treated. And I hope you know that it's not just me that thinks these things. A lot of people, I'm sure, have been inspired to be kinder to those around them because of you. And I think that's an impact that's... it's not something that's going to go away anytime soon, and I think it's just something that's really beautiful and really important. And it's just like, I don't doubt for a second that she's changed the lives of a lot of people, including mine. And also, thank you so much for working as hard as you have. I know you've had your fair share of rough patches and hard times, but seeing you push through them and work through them is also just... It's so inspiring, I guess, to watch. And it definitely inspires me to keep working hard and keep chasing after my dreams, and to not let just bad times or hard days trip me up too much. If you can stand up and if you can keep going, then surely I can as well. And I just wanna say thank you again and again for having that kind of impact on my life, and for inspiring me this much, and for all your hard work. And we will miss you very much, but
That was beautiful, Ria. And
Really?
I do plan to ask everyone that tonight, that yes, it is a tearjerker question. The double-edged sword of it all is I need to be on the other side here and try to keep my composure as people do that all night.
I'm like trying not to...
No, that was
Let my,
beautiful.
like...
That was fantastic. That was just beautiful. And it's the type of thing that Sana, like you said, really has touched a lot of lives, and that even if the time we had with her was a bit shorter than we would have hoped, that she certainly has done so much already, and that we're really just fortunate to have had any time with her. That and one of the really nice things about VTubing is, to break kayfabe that, well, she's not passing away or anything. That that we know that the person behind Sana is still around, and that's certainly just a base level comfort that this is not a funeral.
Yeah.
That there is still the possibility of her appearing in other places in other times, whether it be like we genuinely do not know what form that might take, but whether it be streaming just on her own time under another name, or just continuing to get her art out into the world, because obviously she was an artist before all this, and I assume she'll be an artist after this as well. And that there may be those moments where we're able to sort of see the ghost of Sana in ways, I suppose. And even if not, that she actually made the new small models for councils, so in a way, whenever they're going to be doing their VR collabs from now on, that little bit of Sana will still be there, and that's sort of going to be her more tangible legacy, on top of course, all the streams, the merch, the song, and everything. So, Ria, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you for being just, a wonderful headliner tonight, a wonderful opening act. This was just so delightful. Like I said, I definitely hope to be able to speak with you again sometime. Thank you so much for taking the time out and sharing your thoughts, your memories. This has been just a total delight. I hope that you enjoyed yourself as well. And I see plenty of Succubuds in the chat. That thank you, Succubuds, for showing up here.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me ramble about.
Oh no! Hey, this is literally a forum for rambling. That is exactly what I want tonight, and you were just fantastic. And again, thank you so much. So, you have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I hope to see you around, Ria.
Yeah, of course. I hope the rest of your the Sana Sendoff show goes well. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is LILRYA PRISVIELLE. We're going to have our next guests coming up in just a moment. One second while I take care of some things backstage. Alrighty, we're going to be having actually up next Arkhand as he preps a couple things. I'm going to change my overlay a little bit. If you were here for the loading screen, the starting soon screen, that the music that you were hearing was actually Ark's. So definitely I'm excited to be able to talk with him and to be able to hear about the process that he went through for creating that, because he actually got that composition done in just a matter of days. But I hope you're all enjoying so far. Again, thank you, Succubuds, for stopping by. Hope you'll stick around. Oh, Ark, hello there.
I did it. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Give me just a minute. I am accidentally grabbing the wrong thing. I need to get... There we go.
Small.
There we go.
Actually, let me see if I can full screen this. There. See if that helps you at all.
Yeah, give me just a moment to make sure that I've got... one other thing I needed to adjust there, but I think we are going to be good to go in just a sec once I get the last piece. Okay, if you could scoot yourself over to the left just a tiny bit for centering purposes. Whoop, a little bit too much.
How about that?
A little bit to the right, just a pinch. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm a bit of a perfectionist on that. But anyways.
No, I like it. I like it.
Ark, welcome on in. Folks, let me know if you can't hear Ark for some reason. As far as I can see on my end, he should be coming through loud and clear. But welcome on in. Like I mentioned, you actually were the one that had that fantastic composition going earlier. I guess sort of, well, no, we should start at the beginning. So, for starters, what was your first interaction or discovery of Sana?
So let's see. I was actually a VTuber before Hollow EN existed or debuted in the first place, so I've been VTubing for almost 2 years now. So I've been following. I actually didn't really care too much about Hololive until EN came out, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the Council came out, and I was like, oh, Gen 2, this could be hype. So I literally just binged watched their debuts in one day. Sana's up first, and her video, or whatever she did, the whole space thing she said, I was like, this is the greatest debut I've literally ever seen.
Oh yeah, no, that I distinctly remember that for her debut she had what felt like at the start a continuation of the pretty cryptic lore videos that led up to the debut announcement, but that she really set the stage for this mythology, for lack of a better term, for Council, and had this whole thing of destroying the Earth, which she did twice in her first stream.
I think so. Yeah, I know she destroyed it probably more times than that.
Yeah, just the literal limiter removal, and it was such a fun little extra flavorful way, I suppose, of having her introduction, and she even went on to be the narrator for the introduction of Fauna's debut, which was the one immediately after hers, so she actually had even those little extra appearances.
She did. I think what was nice is that, there was that cryptic lore. Hollow EN's lore in general, I find it extremely anime, like crazy isekai light novel stuff. But she kind of took that and was like, nah, I'm gonna make this my own. And she adds her sense of humor. She adds she just kind of really takes it, makes it Sana's with her sense of humor and things like that. So, and I really admired that. And because they're like, oh, you're the embodiment and god of space. And that is if you're acting as a character, that is a very hard act to portray. But if you're gonna make it your own and add your own flavor to it, which I think all the girls do very, very well, Sana certainly kicked it off with a bang to start, and I think we can all appreciate that.
You could even say the Big Bang.
Exactly. That pun was certainly not intended.
I never actually thought about it, but obviously we have the different themes for all of Council, and now that you mention it, I suppose space is a particularly difficult one to work off because it's such a, once again, pun half intended, nebulous concept that there's a good number of time puns and just a lot of pretty solid concepts. In space, obviously you have outer space, but space can mean so much more, and that she really made it her own and obviously leaned into the outer space mythology and imagery quite a bit, that satellites, and just even really in her design down to her name, that it's a riff on NASA.
Yep. Which I picked up on immediately, and I was like, oh, that's really funny that they did that. All of them have kind of punny names.
Mm-hmm. That I didn't actually realize it until halfway through her debut, when she had the logo with why am I forgetting the name of her little buddy? Oh, darn it. I feel so bad.
Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu, thank you. Yeah, that there was the logo that was obviously taking the inspiration from the NASA logo, and that's when it clicked for me. Oh, I see what you did there. How did I not see what you were doing there until this moment? And it's just a very, very fun thing that I'm guessing that's some of the folks in the Hololive creative team, not necessarily Sana, but that obviously she took it and she ran with it.
Yep. I think that's what you gotta do. You're given these concepts, and I think the boys, Tempest and Council, especially really rolled with it.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of Kiara really leans into the KFP because I was kind of that's a very interesting design she has there, but then she's like, no, I'm gonna make it my own. I'm the manager of KFP. Sana's well, I'm BEEG. It's the whole Sana's BEEG thing. That's such a cute, fun way to deal with that, because and you gotta think about this. They chose everybody there for a reason. If you threw obviously, as you guys can tell, part of my own lore, even though I don't lean very far into it, is based on dark matter and space. But I'm not. That is such a hard. That's such a big shoe to fill, and someone like Sonic fills it perfectly. And she wasn't afraid to just. I keep saying this, she just wasn't afraid to make it herself.
And I feel like that's something that applies to really all the Hololive talent. And frankly, it makes sense that, if you're getting into Hololive, it's because you're very, very good at least a couple of things, but that in general, I think Hololive's recruiting department or whoever's in charge of it is very, very good at their job because they don't miss. They find people who are good at any number of things, but at the end of the day, the people that they find are people who are good for the role. And that it's part of why people, fall in love with these characters so much and why they are able to be so successful so reliably because they have these talents. And even if they aren't necessarily super experienced as VTubers or as streamers, that they have that eye for people who have that potential and are able to really grow into it. Because I feel like it applies to Sana and really most folks in general, that, the concept of growth is not exclusive to Hololive, that, at debut, you're going to be a little bit nervous. You're still going to be figuring out, in a very literal sense, who you are, frankly, and growing into your own role. And that Sana, as others have as well, have found who they are and found the parts that they want to lean into, the parts that they are like, all right, this might not be as big a focus for me. And that's part of why they're so successful, I think.
I definitely say so. They find people that I see, and I'm gonna go into one of the questions I know you're gonna ask later because Chad already said it. They find people who are good for the role and that fit well with each other. That's something I think Council in particular is really, really strong with.
Oh yeah.
Because like Council right off the bat, you could tell like everybody was gonna be like close friends. I think they were just like a little nervous at first, but it wasn't because of each other. It was because of like you're like, wow, we just debuted, and you can just tell that like Sana was such a good friend to everybody in there.
Yeah. And like you said, that they all were very clearly very close, and they had their first stream together very soon after the debut, and they just bounced off each other so naturally. And it is something that's very iconic, and that's gonna feel admittedly a little bit strange in the coming months when you're gonna have council meetings that are going to be for, and one thing that I do think is nice is that they've essentially adopted Iris in, because Iris was sort of on an island, not to veer too much off of Sana here, but the fact that she's very much, I feel, been integrated into that group, and that she was there for the small VR collab, and that she has a model as well, and that that also, at least to me, sort of felt like the confirmation, the officialization of her being really, even if not for corporate purposes, part of Council. That Council is like, you're one of us, and that even so, it's still going to be a little bit weird not having Sana there, but that I'm more than positive that Iris and the other members of Council are going to continue to be extremely successful, and that they're going to be, carrying on. That obviously there is that sadness, but that they're certainly stronger for having Sana with them for the time that they had her with them.
It's one of those. I think there's a Dr. Seuss quote that's something like, "Don't be sad that it's over, be happy that it happened." And I think like it's fine to feel both. I think that's a big part of this. I know lots of other Hollow members said like, yeah, we're still gonna be friends. It's just sad that she's not with us in Hololive, which I think it's important to recognize that, because a lot of people. Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of cut myself short here because I know this is about Sana, but there's something about graduation and graduation culture that I think a lot of people catastrophize, especially if like you're in the indie community and you see someone graduate. I mean, with Hololive, like that's idol culture. Graduation comes from that. This is like literally like the end of it, but it's like people act like they're dead.
And that's part of why, frankly, I have these shows that, it's the Sana Sendoff show. It was the Coco Appreciation show. And one thing that I do reiterate is that, she's still going to be around. The person behind Sana is still going to be around, and that they will be able to communicate with the other members. And that, while we're having this send-off for the character of Sana and that the person behind Sana as a member of Hololive, yes, and that it is a end of a chapter in that sense. And obviously, there is more than just cause to have, that sadness, that melancholy. But at the end of the day, like you said, that this is a thing that we should very much be happy that it happened. Be happy that we had Sana with us for as long as we did, for whatever time that we did, because it was a really nice time, and that we're going to have these memories. We're going to have these VODs for art, in a very literal sense when it comes to the VR small models, because that's going to continue to be used, and that's going to be part of her legacy. And that, for tonight, that there is that combination of happiness and sadness, and that it's completely valid, all those emotions. But at the end of the day, I think that it really should be a happy one. Happy that Sana is ending her tenure as Sana on her terms and in good standing, because unfortunately, you do not get that in every situation.
No, you do not.
So for the song, that it's called Still Friends, which obviously, especially given the things we just discussed, feels very fitting that it's no secret or surprise as to why you would have that title. But you had that track turned around very quickly. Was it 3 days or something? It was not long.
Well, okay, so here's my secret. I didn't transcribe a lot of the stuff. So basically what I'd use is a lot of people put public transcriptions, which is basically the sheet music, up on different websites such as YouTube or MuseScore. So I usually use that. So that way I don't need to go through the process. Now I did, I transcribed Let Me Stay Here myself, because I was like, no, I want to transcribe this the second it comes out. And I've transcribed a little bit of Cronies Daydream, because those are all referenced in the second half. I also found someone also did a transcription of her BGM, which I did for the first half. But what I do for the composing process is, I find one key that they're all going to be in. I have to transpose it to that key. That's all me. I have to figure out what what part's going to be what, and then I have to adjust things around, find the timing. So like the transcription is all due to those artists. I know Captain Meow on YouTube and MuseScore does he transcribes stuff for piano very fast. And when you're making music box, you don't usually need to transcribe that much, because you're only transcribing. Yeah, because
it's just that one line.
Yeah, it's the treble and the bass, and that's it. And then ambience is something I've been doing as just like for fun for a while. Like you just like make some sounds and you put it on like a space filter on it, and then it echoes and it sounds like outer space. And it's easy, but it gets a job done that a lot of, I don't know. I like to keep things simple. My composing process is like keep it simple, because people are gonna be more likely to remember it. But anyway, that's the composing process in general. For the song itself, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something for it, and so I figured like let's do music box. Music box is not challenging. I'm not going to have to pressure myself, because if you guys don't know, I don't have that much time on my hands. I don't do VTubing as merely a side thing. So we did that. The first part is an original melody based off of stuff, so I had the chords, the same exact chord progression from her BGM, and I wrote something over that. I think I did that in about an hour. If you have the chords, the writing melodies is pretty easy. And then for the second part, I was like, okay, let's use the chords from Astro Girl. And then let's like reference all the other members of Council songs in there, because the whole theme is, the lyrics in Astro Girl are "You're not alone." So I was like, "Yep," and that's the whole point of the song, and in the music video. So I was like, "Let's just go with that." So that's why you can hear like the space echoing, like "You're not alone, you're not alone." You can just hear those notes there in the background, and that's.
I admittedly didn't pick up on it, but now that you're mentioning it, I'm thinking back to it, and I was like, that. I was aware that in the YouTube release of this, I will have the link to your YouTube video for Still Friends. And that one thing that you do mention in that video description is, as you just said, that it is a amalgamation of Sana's theme, but also then, Astro Girl, and then all of the first original songs of Iris and Council, and that you interwove snippets of those motifs into this one single piece. And I think that's just a beautiful concept, and it works very, very nicely. And even if you aren't familiar with each of the individual fragments, the song just flows so seamlessly. It feels like it was just written to be that way. But now that you're mentioning the fact that you have the little "You're Not Alone" notes in the background, I'm thinking back to it, like, gosh, that is just sort of there echoing. So now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it and probably get even more emotional.
Well, I picked Music Box because it's a very sentimental instrument, but
Yeah.
it's
And
also
obviously,
I'm very,
it's what she uses as her loading screen.
yeah, that I'm comfortable with it. I don't know, I've been doing Music Box stuff for like over a year,
Wow.
so it's very easy to work with.
What was the full turnaround time, though, on that? I can't recall. Like I said, I think it was just a couple of days.
Actually, I can tell you the amount of time. I'm pulling up FL Studio right now. I can tell you exactly how much time I spent on it. Give me 1 second. This isn't it, is it? Here we go. I was originally going to call it like Sayonara, but I was like, no, this isn't Goodbye Forever. Sayonara is a very simple or very like intense expression in Japanese.
Yeah, it's a very finite expression in Japanese,
Right.
that you only hear that for, more permanent farewells. That is not the casual "see you later" greeting, or the "see you later" farewell. That it's a very definitive one of "I do not expect to see you again." It's very sentimental.
Yup.
And as we've been saying, that is not the case, or at the very least, we do not want that to be the case, so we are not going to phrase it in that way. We might use it
Yup.
as a pun, but
So I spent a little less than 6 hours in FL Studio, but that's because I did stream a good chunk of it, and when I'm streaming, my workflow is very, very efficient because like I have to entertain chat. Like I can't like be like, oh, I did this, and let me look at Twitter for 2 hours, like
Yeah.
a dingus. But I'd say it was probably a little bit more than that because I had to like find the references. I had to like see like what would work. I had to like think about like where do I want to put this. So the project time is about 6 hours, but it's probably a bit more than that.
and I think it was published. I don't recall which day it was, but it was not very long after the graduation announcement that you were in some of that first wave of early reactors and artists being able to get your tributes out there. And I remember seeing and hearing it even before I reached out to you for this show, actually.
Yep.
And it's a fantastic piece. Definitely recommend that if you didn't hear it at the start of the stream tonight, look it up. That it is on Arkhand's YouTube page that you can find. I'm going to make sure it gets in the video description for the YouTube release of this one later. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hi YouTube.
Hi,
Like,
YouTube.
comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. But yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic work. When it comes to Sana's content, are there any favorite streams you have of hers, or any, I guess, favorite things that she does?
I really like Sana's interaction with the other members is just like so cute to me. Like all of her cute nicknames for the rest of Council, like, like Kronini, Fafa, like that like all that really like sticks in my head, and then like Callie starts using those. Like that's really funny to me, and she just has like this, almost like this big sisterly love for all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I love that so much. That's probably one of my favorite parts. In terms of her content, first of all, I think she's like a big Nintendo gamer. She got excited over Kirby. She got excited over Pokemon, and I was like, oh yes,
Mhm.
oh this is good. She's not afraid to have like a little bit more unhinged sense of humor for it, which I really like. Because you have to be say so idle, but she's not afraid to kind of edge in the other direction, which I think if we're on watching VTubers on Twitch, I think we all appreciate. Smile, a little bit. I really liked the Pokemon tournament because I saw her team, I saw her movesets, and I was like, oh, she's me. She's taking this way too competitively. That would be me.
That's right. She did. She was the one that knew what she was doing. That you could tell you could tell the folks who had not done any competitive Pokemon play and those who had, and she was one of the few who had, and she kind of mopped the floor with everyone, if memory serves.
Yeah. I think she like kind of threw against Callie a little bit. I think Callie
wouldn't be
wound up
surprised that she might have, because they hadn't done anything really competitive before that. They usually, I feel like Hololive Talents do a lot of collabs, but they're rarely competitive collabs. And sometimes they'll do like 51 games, but that's casual competitive, for lack of a better term. It's not something that you really train up for or have something prepared for. Whereas obviously for a Pokemon tournament, you actually need to decide what your team is, decide your moveset, do if you're going to be into IV breeding and EV training and all the like.
Oh, she totally did the EV IV.
Yeah,
thing.
You can absolutely tell that she did. And
she
I
totally did that.
And since they don't do it that often, it's very understandable that they might not realize, okay, to what level is everybody else taking this? That obviously, she did not mean to, just sort of rag on anyone, but I think she did realize partway through, now that you mentioned it against Callie, oh, I'm a bit over-prepared, and that doesn't make for an entertaining stream, so I'm going to throw a bit, make it a little bit entertaining. I'm not going to throw entirely. I'm still going to win. I'm here to win, and I respect that. But that she allowed things to, she certainly presented casually throughout that, she was super nice to Mume and everyone that she destroyed along the way.
The battle with Mume was so good. That's like one of my favorite Sana moments. Like she sends out like a level 5 Hoodoo. She's like, what do I do? And Mume's just like, he's playing. He wants to play with you.
I did appreciate Mume because I feel like she took it in her own way of, all right, I know that I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to make it really entertaining in my own way. And so she did.
Yep. I love that. It was so good. I remember that stream, and I remember a lot of like the other collab streams she was in very fondly.
Yeah. I also recall that her favorite Pokemon is Togekiss, that she had a goal to get Togekiss both in, I forget if it was Diamond or Pearl, but that and in Legends Arceus.
Yep, she scaled that cliff for that Togekiss in the first area.
Yeah. And when I played Arceus, I had already gotten a Togekiss because I'd found, I think, just a normal Togebeam had evolved as part of the, Dex completion. But then, finding it, that's one of the more picturesque locations that they have. That was a really fun one, sort of an extra challenge to catch because it's moving around and you really have to seek that one out.
Yep. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That was fun. Yeah, well, just watching her, how excited she gets for those games is like contagious. Makes you feel good about it.
For sure, yeah. The infectious positivity and energy that she has is definitely one of the big charming points of hers, and it really shows in just how everybody reacts. That you get excited to see her excited because she's just that excited, and it's happy.
Exactly. I'm with that.
Do you have any other favorite moments or memories, whether it be, anything from a Twitter interaction to a specific moment on stream, a clip that you go back to every now and again?
Twitter is interesting. I remember just her back and forth with Fauna before debut was really good. As a challenge to myself.
I forget, was she one of the ones that had her Twitter locked down or not? I think it was,
I think that was Crony.
It might have been, because I think 2 of them got hit. I know Iris was hit for hers, and at least one of Council, if not 2.
I know Crony.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was. I feel like it was Crony. I don't remember if it was Sana or not.
Anyways, sorry for the sidetrack. That her interactions with Mume prior to debut.
Yeah, Mume. Her interactions with everybody was great. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good time. This could be a good time. She was also, I know a couple members of Hololive have acknowledged my music. She was one of the first, actually.
Oh.
she was one of the first. I mean, she didn't like shout me out or anything. She just retweeted like a fan thing I did.
Hey, that's
for her.
still something.
That is something. I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. And what's nice
noticed
that
me.
it's just basically. But then like I know she like often like. Well, she doesn't shy away from liking or retweeting art from like people who probably aren't as skilled or like don't have the same experience. But like I think that means a lot because that can be really, really encouraging to smaller people out there.
Absolutely.
Especially because it's so hard to get like a handle on social media unless you're like already well known. So like I don't know, any big creator that goes out of their way to do that, like even just like hitting that button, that's like enough serotonin to keep an artist like a small artist going forever. So, and I'm not just saying that about me, I'm saying that about plenty of other people. I just think that's such a big deal.
For sure, yeah. That and as an artist herself, it's the type of thing of I get the feeling she's probably one to check her art tag pretty often, just because she is an artist herself and that she really enjoys it. That she actually had, it was her, Mume, and Callie, funny enough, that had the art appreciation stream a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it was the anatomy appreciation stream. That was the
right.
official title. Yes, and it was very cultured art, shall we say? But it was the type of thing that even on that, she was going in with such a scholarly mindset to it, and that she was talking about these technical aspects of it, and that you can really tell just how much of an artist she is. That it's the type of thing that even though she doesn't do a ton of art streams in terms of just sheer proportions of her streaming content, that obviously we have the merch that she's done. You see what she's really, really capable of. But I always love hearing artists talk about art in those technical aspects, because I'm so unskilled. I don't know any of it, and I love seeing people just get into that nitty gritty of whatever it is that they're passionate about. That's part of why VTuber Talk exists, frankly. That I just like hearing people talk about their passions in detail with jargon, and she was not afraid to do that for the anatomy appreciation stream.
Yes, I need to go back and watch that VOD. I think that's something I was either doing something else or I was like streaming myself during, but I do remember that was a thing. And very fitting they call it anatomy. I know people love to draw less clothes than normal and be like, it's anatomy practice.
It's anatomy practice.
Yeah.
Well, yes, technically, yes, it is.
I'll save that tangent for later. But yeah, that's a good one. Those are like the big ones I remember from her. Like I could go on just about how much I appreciate her personality probably for the next hour. Which I know we can't do.
Yeah, sadly we cannot. But as we start to wind down, obviously, like we said, this is not farewell. It is not sayonara. That obviously her streams will remain up. They will be accessible. Her small models are going to be used by Iris and Council, so she'll have that in a more tangible sense of a legacy. And just obviously the person behind Sana is still going to be here, and she will likely continue to create content in her own way, at her own time, in her own places. And obviously, we're not going to discuss specifics, but it's the type of thing that that if Sana means a lot to you, and that there is the possibility of finding these things. And, obviously keeping the respect for the separation of Hololive and Sana and the person behind Sana, but that naturally appreciation of Sana and the person behind Sana very much go hand in hand, and that hopefully we will continue to see their work out and about.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we absolutely will. We absolutely will. I like this idea that this isn't a permanent goodbye. This is just a farewell to one chapter for Hololive, one chapter for Sana's life.
Yeah. And just melancholy though it might be, it's like you said, and I think it's a great quote of just, don't be sad that it's over, be happy that it happened. And especially for something like this where you know, there are certainly worse fates. There's harder goodbyes, and while this one does sting in the moment, we know that people can and do continue to move on and are able to do incredible things. And we just wish the best for Sana and are happy that we were able to meet her and discover her in this way at this time. And who knows what the future holds.
Yeah, well, we'll all find out. We'll know.
Mm-hmm. Now, before I send you on your way, Ark, if you were to deliver a special message to Sana, if you could get a greeting to her, what would you say?
Hi, Sana, big fan. You can call me a Sana. I'm a big Sana-like here. So I would say to Sana, thank you for your enthusiasm, your friendship towards everyone else and your gen mates that they will appreciate, and your influence on them will never be forgotten. Your legacy lives on. So thank you for that. Thank you for Astro Girl. What a banger. I was sad it wasn't longer than 3 minutes. I'm a huge Snail's House fan, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, yes. And I would just say good luck to wherever you're going, and I hope you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ark, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for sharing your memories. Thank you for sharing your music. Like I said, I was really happy to be able to have, and actually I was quoting the name wrong. It's Still Our Friend, not Still Friend.
It's all good.
Still Our Friend at the top of the show. And that if you haven't heard it already, definitely be sure to check out Ark and all of his work that he does. Just beautiful, beautiful arrangements and also some original compositions as well. So, Ark, thank you so much. Definitely hope to see you around. Enjoy the graduation, and again, just really appreciate you stopping by tonight.
Thank you for having me. With pleasure, it's all mine. And everyone stick around for the other guests that we got on too.
Indeed, because up next is going to be Ophelia Midnight. So as we start to shift around, but again, Ark, thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shift there's that one. That. There we are. God, I need to different link for that one. One sec, let me make sure. It always undoes that highlight.
Eh?
Ophi, there you are.
Hi.
Hi. All right. Well, welcome on in, Ophelia Midnight. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm back. Did you miss me?
Yes, I'm hearing just a little bit of reverb. I'm not sure if it might just be the room that you're in tonight.
It's the room that I'm in.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted to at least make sure that it's not a technical thing, so all good there.
Here, let me try to adjust it, because my sister came to visit me, and then all of my audio, everything got messed up because I had to accommodate one microphone for 2 people.
It happens. So, totally understandable.
Hold on. Can you hear? Does it sound really bad still, or?
Oh, that actually sounds a fair bit better. Yeah.
Swag. Cool.
Well, Ophi, welcome in. I had you on the show. It was probably like 2, maybe even 3 months ago. It was a little bit.
Yeah, it was around the end of May, because it was literally a week to the day before I got COVID.
Yeah, no, because you were feeling like a little bit under the weather. We're not sure if it was, like the early symptoms or anything, but you went down soon afterwards, and I was like, oh no.
Well, it was like I tested like 4 times. I don't remember if I told you about it. I tested like 4 times and they were all negative. And then on the final time, like a week and a half later, it tested positive. I was like, you couldn't have said this before? Like, I was trying to work and do things while I was sick.
It happens, but glad to have you back again. Obviously, it's a bittersweet occasion, but as you've been saying so far, that definitely leaning into the sweet more than the bitter. That for you, obviously, you debuted alongside Rhea, both of you part of V-REVERIE.
Yes, she's my gen mate.
Were you, I'm guessing, at the very least aware of Sana prior to your debut, and did you follow her, from time of debut, or did you discover her a bit afterwards?
I was actually part of the train that discovered her afterwards. I'm not really, okay, this is going to sound really strange, but I feel like a lot of VTubers, like, there's so many debuts that happen. I personally get really overwhelmed by the amount that are like occur. So I don't think that I really attend too many, just because they get very overwhelming for me.
That's very fair. And honestly, debuts, while very festive and nice introductions, that debuts don't even necessarily give you the full look into someone's content that you really are going to get to know them better seeing their streams.
Exactly, especially if you're following the format that most VTubers follow, which is a PowerPoint, tell you about themselves, and then do like karaoke or a little bit of gameplay. Because I always am like, well, you can like the same games as a streamer, but it doesn't mean you're going to like that the way they entertain. It just might not end up being for you in the end. So I always end up checking them out later. But Sana, I actually started watching because of like clips. So like for my first like experience like into the foray of Sana was watching her collab with people or just interact with others. Like what's it called? Just like anything that has her and Crony. I was like very I was really like invested in, just for the simple, I guess, fact, like I think Sana has this really infectious personality that brings out the best and the most vulnerable sides of people. And it's something that I enjoy seeing come out of all of like council. So seeing her interact and like be this like what is the word that I want? Like not glue, but like be kind of this figure in people's lives that bring a source of sentimentality and safeness, for lack of a better word, that makes people feel more comfortable to be themselves and be more sentimental, if that makes sense.
It's such an interesting observation to me because I've used the phrase infectious personality earlier tonight already, and that is certainly true, but the concept of being able to bring out the more vulnerable side of someone and that she's able to sort of induce sentimentality, that's such an interesting observation, a phrasing that I've never heard to use describe her before, but you're not wrong. That as soon as you said those, I was like, oh my gosh, that it just makes so much sense. And that the concept of, being just someone that people can feel comfortable around to the point that being vulnerable is possible it's such a compliment of, that it means that you're really creating that environment where somebody is just able to relax and let go. And that's when those types of emotions are able to be let out, because those are the things that just, for any number of reasons, that people usually sort of remain more guarded against. And that you're very right that she herself is a very sentimental and openly vulnerable person, and that's part of why I think that she's able to get that from others, because sort of leading by example, and then usually folks will sort of resonate and end up being sympathetic in that way. But even that obviously takes just a great deal of emotional strength and
Yeah.
just
Well,
awareness.
that's why I think like her being space itself, like if you think about it, right? Sana is space. She is the universe. She is an eternal, like an eternal, cosmic space, and we are all part of that to some degree. And the beautiful thing that she does with Council, which is why, watching them all interact, is she cultivates the space, literally, to be a place that people can come together, especially Council, especially including Iris, to make people feel like being around her being around her is special, and being in her and being included, and like she has this really wonderful way of including others, and like the way that she includes, makes chat feel loved, and the way that she makes her gen mates and her senpais and the people that encounter her feel loved. I think it's very fitting for a VTuber who encompasses space to be all of those things, to create such big love and lead by example, to show that to other people so that they may also be able to do that for others at some point.
That one of the things I find really interesting about Council, and I feel like it's something that applies to most VTuber generations and groups, whether it be a corporate one or a self-made group, that it's just a thing that happens in groups, that people find their niche within a group, find their role within a group, and that even that different people lead their groups in different ways, and that I think that in any given group, every member of that group ends up being a leader in some capacity. It's just they're leading in different capacities. That in organizational capacity, I've always sort of gotten the feeling that Bae was a bit of the organizational leader, that she was the one who was leading the very first council meeting, and that she ends up being involved in a lot of collabs. That's just sort of her style of leadership and her leadership contribution. But that Sana, hopefully I'm understanding your words correctly, that it feels like she is an emotional leader in a lot of ways, that she helps bring people together, just when they are in that same shared space, to be together, even if they aren't there physically, to help make it feel like they perhaps are closer than they are physically, because obviously being VTubers, that they aren't going to be in the same space at the same time, but the fact that space is big, space is vast, and that we are all in space together, even if it's not the same room, the same city, same country, that we are still existing in space at this same time.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's how I think Sana carries herself. It's very like big sister energy, but it's also it's very like not just big sister energy, but it's very like especially with her graduating. Not that like anyone could have ever anticipated such a thing, but when in like a movie you have that one character who brings people together and they have this beautiful and infectious air to them that draws people in, and people learn things and grow and all that sort of thing, like in a movie. But then like that person has to leave, and then like the other characters have to like try to learn
carry on those concepts.
And like that's kind of how I feel about what's happening, like especially if you've watched like the reactions for like HoloLive EN on Sana leaving. They're all like, we want her to be happy, of course, like wherever she goes, like that's the main priority, is that she is somewhere where she is happiest. But we are going to do our best to not like make her name something that is taboo, but have her spirit live on with all of us to some degree.
Yeah.
I say spirit, but it's because I have a lack of better term because
No,
it's
no,
not like
I
she's
totally
dead.
understand what you mean here. And you know, you talk about her being a big sister, and that your literal brand itself is that you are ghost sis, that you are
Yeah.
you yourself are a big sister, and so
Yes.
that recognition and resonance, I think, means all the more sort of coming from you because that
Mm.
I have to believe that you sort of identify with her on some level.
Yeah, I don't know, whenever I have like a group of people, I always end up being the one, like, I guess not on purpose, but like being the steadfast one, being someone who is emotionally available and sentimental, and but also I function slightly more on the end of like I also allow logic to inform like my advice and things like that, but it is something that I do resonate with very strongly. So, and it's also something that like when you are like that personality type, it's very easy to pick out the nuances of someone else who is also that personality type.
For sure. Yeah.
Mhm. So
Do you have any favorite streams that she's done, or just, you know, any favorite collabs that she's been in?
oh gosh. Okay. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. So I watched her I watched her play what is it called? Oh shoot. Minecraft. Oh my god. Why did I was like the thing with the blocks. Okay, it's freaking Minecraft. So I just like her Minecraft series because it inspires me to play Minecraft on my own as well, and like, but I think it's just because her, well, one, she's a very she's very excitable, so it's really a joy to watch someone who plays a game like Minecraft and enjoy every second of it to a degree, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if I like pulled up MS Paint and just started drawing but got excited about every little line that I drew. That's how I feel watching what's it called, Sana play like anything. Or actually, I also really loved her Metroid Dread stream because honestly, because like it's literally just, she might as well have called it like Sana Screaming Simulator.
I was about to say, I didn't see any of that live, but I've
Okay.
seen clips of it, and all the clips are just, you know, obviously it's called Metroid Dread. It's a bit of a spooky game. It's a game that is gonna be,
Yeah.
Metroid in general is that burst of franticness in between the, you know, exploration of it all, but Dread in particular, very much leaning into some of the more horror elements of the series. It's not a horror game per se, but you know, whenever you're being chased
Yeah.
by that robot, that it's gonna be a literal fight or flight moment, and her reactions are very, very strong.
Well, what I find super funny is like, so I played like the really old like original Doom game, and so like it's like the 90s version of Doom. I played that, and you would think like playing like games that are like super pixelated and stuff, you know, it tones down that horrific element to it. And I love watching people play horror games, not like actually me playing them myself.
Oh, that's
But
exactly
I
me.
was
I
like-
don't like playing horror games, but I'll watch others.
Yeah, but I watching because I actually rewatched it recently, and watching her play was reminding me of me playing Doom, because I was like everything made me scream. I could turn a corner and I'd see like a box and I'd probably scream. Like every little bit of it just freaked me the fuck out. And like I just think that's so funny. I just think like someone who you know, you would think just from like, so like for example, like how hardcore she goes in like Pokemon or like in any of these other games, You think that like playing Metroid Dread probably should be like wouldn't scream as much, or like she'd probably go hardcore mode. Like someone who's also very similar to that, and then always and seeing someone who's like also screaming at everything that walks. I was like, I felt this. I relate to this.
Absolutely, yeah. That just she really, like you mentioned, that she has her more hardcore gamer moments. That she was really into the Pokemon tournament and really obviously trained up her team for that. And
Oh yeah.
on the other hand, well, obviously, Metroid is not as big a series as Pokemon, but to be fair, very
No.
few are. It's one of the biggest media franchises in the world.
I was about to say.
But that it was a different type of stream for her, and one, it was just very fun to see her sort of have that divergence and venture into this different area of gaming, but also that, you know, she was so open to it, and also, well, yeah, the reactions were a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And like what's it called? Another really what's it called? Like her song Astro Girl makes me cry.
Oh my gosh, like I adored Astro Girl from the moment it was released. I thought it was just super fun. I love the visuals that it actually
Yeah.
takes its cues from, you know, the original Astro Boy series, but that the lyrics are so nice. But
Mhm.
it's, oh boy, the day of her graduation announcement, going back and listening to that one, that
It hits
hurt.
different, doesn't it?
It hits different. Holy cow!
Especially because council they've known for so long that she was going to graduate, and then so it's like she releases the song and you're like, but then like, can you imagine before like anything else?
You know,
It's
these are
just-
the type of things that we're never going to know the exact of the timeline of who knew what when, or like, you know,
Yeah,
that
of course.
when did she know, all right, I'm going to talk to management and say that I wish to graduate, and that, you know,
Mhm.
where exactly things line up and to what degree certain what artistic choices may or may not have been influenced, or anything to that nature. But Astro Girl, like you said, absolutely hits different given the context of her
does.
graduation, and it hit in its own way beforehand, and it was already beautiful, but in its own way, it's the type of thing that, for her having only one original song in her time
Mhm.
in Hololive, what a
It's
singular
one-
song to
I was
have.
about to say, like, that song is going to
Like,
be
that's a
something that
legacy.
resonates. Yeah, that is like that. But that's what I mean. Like what I was saying earlier about being the type of person that cultivates like a space that she doesn't have to do anything alone. Like
Mhm.
she can be so big and still, you know, be able to house all the people she loves.
Yeah,
And like,
it's very much become a mantra, sort of an anthem of these past couple of weeks, of just, even after she graduates, she's not going to be alone, that she's still going to be able to talk and interact with the folks from Council and Iris. No, not on stream
Mhm.
anymore, but, you know, they're still going to be in each other's lives. That there's no
oh
way
yeah,
that, you know, the being in Hololive, or really being in any large corporate VTuber group, or even medium or small ones, that just, you know, you end up just very close inevitably with the people that you work with. And goodness
Mhm.
knows, for something on the scale of Hololive, that it is it's a sorority, really, of just that
Yeah.
and I mean this
Yeah.
in the nicest of ways, that it's
no.
it's a-
I
it's a
don't
group
I don't
that,
think it
you know, ends
negatively
up,
at all.
just, they've all really come together, and they've been through so many things that we will never know as the fans, as
Mhm.
the outsiders, of just all the hours of work that
Yeah.
were put in from before the debuts to just, you know,
Oh God.
the amount of work that goes in, that the late night conversations that have inevitably been had, and that, you know, that they are going to continue to be
Mhm.
friends. And that's one of the great things about it, that, yeah, they're not going to be able to collab and be on stream as easily, but
Yeah.
no one's going to forget Sana. Nobody's going
Oh
to
yeah,
forget
of
her.
course. Like watching their reactions. Like Crony was like, what's it called? Crony was like, I'm gonna still talk to her every day. I don't know why I'm sad, but I'm still really sad. Even though I know she's still gonna be there. I'm still gonna talk to her. So why am I sad? I was like, I get that. I get you.
and especially coming from her, because she is just I want to phrase this properly, that Crony is just emotionally one of the of council. She's very collected. She's very collected. And that that's sort of her way of processing things, I suppose. And I would guess out of council that she's probably the one that is least inclined to crying on normal things, but just
the moment anybody cries, like when Ina started crying, I'm one of those people that like if someone, especially in a situation like this, if someone else starts crying, I will like start to empathize and also start to cry.
I'm very much a sympathetic crier. That I'm somebody
I hate it.
I don't actually cry a ton on my own.
Same.
I take things in a pretty collected manner, and like even if I'm sad, like there's a difference. I can frequently get sad, but it's for whatever reason, crying is not usually just how I
for
operate
me,
instinctually.
I'm very like, okay, I'm sad. What can I do to make me not sad in a realistic sense? Like, of course, there are some things that you can't control. However, but like, what can I do to distract myself to be proactive in what's it called? In nursing my own mental health. And so like crying, if I feel like crying, I will cry, but for the most part, I don't really cry too often, unless, I mean, like, there are specific situations. I think I'm more of a happy crier than I am a sad crier.
I actually am very much the same way, that I am more prone to happy crying on my own and sad crying on my own.
Like,
but
if
it's the type of thing that if I'm around others and other people start to cry, oh boy, I might not be outright sobbing, but I'm very liable to get choked up very quickly.
I will definitely get choked up. But I'm very much also the type to try to mask that. Look, if there's anything that vocal training has taught me, it's how to mask being choked up, okay? But it's definitely that. And like even when Crony tweeted, when she was like, I need to take the day off because of the news, I was like,
just like seeing that from her is oof.
That hit me so different, and I was like, oh no, will I cry at this tweet? This tweet? So but you're right in the fact that like it is kind of a sorority. You are experiencing something very exclusive to that.
And that even obviously the process of being a VTuber is a pretty unique experience. Being a corporate VTuber is a pretty unique thing.
Exactly.
Each corporate VTuber experience is going to be its own very unique thing, but to be a HoloLive VTuber just is on another level. And especially to be Council, who's following up on Myth. This just prodigal. People expected Myth. Cover obviously expected Myth to do well. They wouldn't have invested in Myth if they didn't think that they could do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But goodness knows, Myth blew up and went far and beyond anyone, including Cover and the members of Myth, could have ever expected. And that Iris certainly was under a unique and singular pressure, being the sole follow-up to that. But then for Council being the first generation, the first group following in the footsteps of Myth, and Iris, who had her own incredibly successful debut, and just that there's gonna be those expectations, and certainly that you get to stand on the shoulders of giants, but that there's just so many factors, and that experience is gonna be unlike anyone else's experiences.
And I also think of it too, like I think a lot of people don't think this when they think like Greek life by any means, but people don't realize that like for a lot of people, like that same kind of experience is really emotional. It's really sentimental. It's a way for people to find family away from home. And I think, in that sense, your gen mates are like your brothers or your sisters or whatever it is. And there's a sense of like, there's a stronger bond because they're kind of like a family at your job to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that obviously, I feel like content creation, this type of job that, people say at companies, oh, we're family, and most companies know you're not family. That's just corporate speak.
Yeah.
But that for this particular line of work, I feel that it is something that can truly happen, especially for the coworkers. That I don't necessarily believe that they would feel a familial bond with like Yago or Achan or their manager.
No, I meant more in
with
the
each
sense
other,
of their
yeah,
gen mates and
but
stuff.
with each other,
yeah.
that you are going to get.
Yeah, because it's like,
bond.
because like if you think about, if we're using the sorority analogy, I mean, like you're going to feel closer to the people who are at your university than you are going to feel at another university.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's very much like that. But yeah.
And it's going to be weird to see, them -1, and that obviously,
Yeah.
Sana will always be a member of council, even if she is not there. But the reality is that it's going to be interesting to see what they do for council meetings starting in a couple of days. That are they still going to use that same background and let there be a vacant chair? Will Iris occupy the vacant chair? Are they going to get a new background that has 4 chairs? We're just going to have to wait and
would
see.
love the chair to be empty, me personally. And that's really sad to say, but I think for a time, it's okay to have one chair empty. It doesn't need to always be empty. Eventually, you can have a new chair, like not a new chair, but like have less chairs. But I think while the graduation is still fresh in everybody's minds and in everybody's hearts, it is okay to
let there be that representation of the void.
Yeah, like a presence that is always there, even if not physically.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see how it goes. Or like, another option would be add a new chair that gets to be occupied by Iris, but then you still have the vacant chair for Sana. And obviously this is all complete speculation, but
of course,
it will be interesting because this is it is a creative choice that they're going to have to make one way or another.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think what also would be really fun is if they took like different variations of Sana, just like a chibi Sana or like a
and
or
just
like
sort of had the cardboard standee there of her.
That,
she's always there. That would be fun. I like that idea.
Or like one of those, like, how like Selene Tatsuki, she has like her like glass case whenever she does collabs, and then she puts whoever's in the glass case. That's their model, like that. I would love something different to happen every single time, just to like not make fun of it, but
no, that it's a way
make
of
it
keeping
lighthearted.
things fresh. Yeah, lighthearted.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting concept there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because sometimes even after all the tears, a joke or a laugh can really help you feel better about having to move forward. Well,
we're gonna have to start to wrap. We could talk for ages, but again, it's been delightful having you back, Ophi. Thank you so much for stopping by, for sharing.
Oh, I love chatting with you.
Yeah. And the last question's one that I'm asking everybody tonight. If you could deliver a special message to Sana, what would you say?
Sana, I hope that you forever stay eternal, as I hope that your energy and your infectious personality continue to touch more and more people's hearts and lives even after you've graduated. And I fully believe that you will continue to cultivate a beautiful space for all of us to see every single night.
Was wonderful. And again, Ophi, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for being here and being part of this.
Yeah,
I don't want to
of
call
course.
it a memorial, but the celebration of
Yeah,
Sana.
I've been calling it
and
a celebration party thing.
hmm
You know?
Yeah, the,
Mhm.
maybe that would have been the better alliteration because I did Sana Sendoff show because the
Oh, I've been
alliteration, but I like the Sana
celebration.
celebration show because even though it's SCS, that you still have the sound. Huh.
Yeah. I've been calling it a celebration just because, like, I always think that just because someone is graduating, it doesn't mean that we can't always be happy that they were ever around. It's always important to honor
Absolutely.
those things. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, obviously, there's still a couple days left that we have the graduation stream. That it's going to be very exciting. That they did. I thought that Coco's graduation stream was absolutely beautiful. It'll be interesting to see what they do for Sana's. I'm sure they'll have something very special for it. So,
Oh, yeah.
I hope you enjoy that. I hope everyone else does. And again, thank you for stopping by, Ophi, and I'll see you around.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Otsu Ophi. Bye-bye.
Ophi, bye. And thanks to all of Ophi's fans for stopping by, all the teammates. We're going to have Moral joining us in just a moment as I change my setup here. There we go. Moral's going to be here tonight on a PNG, so we have a bit of a combined system here. Let's see if this ends up working. I need to make sure that I get that there. That's not appearing like I want it to. Let me see. There might be. Oh, I wonder. I bet I have to do. Is that? Oh. Okay. Now let me see. Sorry, folks. Thanks for bearing with me here. Okay. Yes, that was what I needed to do. Cool. Great. All right. Okay. Moral, are you there?
Yes, hello?
Okay, cool. I'm seeing your PNG. I can hear you here in video. I'm not seeing your PNG light up when you talk, though.
Oh, okay, hold on 1 second. Do I have to like unmute myself on the
Yeah, that might
voice
do it.
chat?
Try unmuting yourself on Discord. Yeah, we're in sort of a
but
hybrid
I might
system
get
here.
my echo probably.
No, it's fine because I don't have a audio input for Discord on OBS, and I'm muted on
Okay.
there, so you should be fine.
Okay, great.
All right, unmute there and let's see if that works.
Yeah, I'm unmuted on the VC on Discord.
I'm still not seeing your PNG light up. It's appearing here, so I know that part's working. Sorry, folks in chat. Give us just a moment. Let me see. That was. What if I be the one there? Maybe what we do. If we can't get the light up to work, just send me your PNG in Discord and I'll put it into OBS. That way you aren't working with the darkened one. That I do want your nice bright blue colors to show up.
Yeah, sure, that can work. Sure, let me do that.
So, folks, again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This is the Sana Sendoff Show. We're here with Moral Truth. And as I prep to get everything here situated, one moment. let's see here. Gonna try and get this set over here. Get this image in. Okay, so here. What I'm going to do in that case is that. All right, so you can, in that case, hop out of the Discord audio one since we're not going to end up needing that one. But let me get that. There we go. Okay. There. Hopefully that should take care of what we need there. Okay, I think we've got it now. Moral, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right, I have got everything set. So, again, thank you so much for joining. That you ended up being sort of a late addition, but I'm really happy to have you here. That we hadn't had a chance to talk or interact too much before, but obviously I've seen you around, and it's just a pleasure to have you. So thank you for stopping by. You know, for starters, I know that you have been around in VTuber community at least as long as I have. I think longer, if memory serves. So I'm guessing that you were at the very least aware of Sana leading up to her debut, and I'm not sure. Did you tune into the debut itself?
Yeah, yes, I have. I started out VTubing since September of 2020, so around the time when HoloMyth debuted. So yeah, I've been around since then, and then also the Holo Council debuts as well. Yes.
Did you have any, first impressions or anything that really drew you to Sana in those early days?
Yeah, like when I started off watching like her debut, her debut, I was watching it, and I thought like she had like a pretty interesting design, I would say. And then there was like a little bit like some funny moments on there, like for example like the Sana transcendence. Like I thought that was like pretty cool, like the thing that she does with her eyes.
Yeah.
And the fact that she can make herself big, that's
the limiter removal was the big standout for me, and just the destruction of Earth twice in one stream.
Oh yes.
It really brought the flavor together, and that it being the first debut of Council, coming on the heels of those 3 rather cryptic lore videos leading up to their announcement, that she very much leaned into those motifs and sort of acted as that transition for Council as a whole, from this very cryptic sort of mythological presentation and into the more standard, I suppose, VTubing imagery, and that she really bridged that with the intro part of her debut.
Oh yeah, she did the little like lore video that she did. Yeah, that was like pretty interesting as well. That was pretty cool.
Were there any streams of hers that really stood out for you? Anything that when she was playing a particular game that you were sure to tune in for, or at least watch the VOD after the fact?
I do remember. I think Sana was like playing. I forgot which Pokemon game it was. It was probably like one of the newer ones. And then
it probably would have been the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, because it would have been that or Legends Arceus.
I think it was the first one. Yeah, the first one you mentioned. But and like out of nowhere she got like a shiny Rayquaza. I was like, oh snap, let's go.
Yeah.
I remember that moment. That was cool. Yeah, it was like, I think it was like January of this year. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think so. That
cool. Yeah, she was like very excited when she got it. I was like, oh snap, let's go. Like,
yeah, she'd been looking for that shiny for a while. I was actually watching that exact clip earlier today because she was doing a simultaneous, it was a pseudo collab with Ina, that they were both looking for a shiny legendary, and it was just them being on a voice call together because, grinding for shiny Pokemon is a bit of a tedious task that under normal circumstances it would have loaned itself to being a just chatting stream, but that she and Ina decided to sort of do that in parallel, and it became a collab and a just chatting thing for them, and the two of them were actually between a bigger conversation and you can see the video from both Sana's perspective and Ina's, and Ina just starts screaming to the point where I think it actually cut out of Ina's, that just the limiter I think was hit there, and she actually had to run. She was like, "One sec, I need to turn on the air conditioning because I'm getting so hyped up that I'm getting warm." And warned her at some point. She was like, "If you don't calm down, you're going to pass out," because she was on the verge of hyperventilating. It was a very fun, very energetic moment, but it was just so Sana.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was such like an epic moment for her, for sure. Like she got something that she was looking for. Like she reached a goal that she had on the stream.
Yeah, and it's such a fun hype moment, and that I think that really encapsulates Sana as a whole. That she's a very bubbly, energetic person, and that she has the soft-spoken side, but that, like with everything else, Sana is BEEG, and that includes the excited outbursts.
Yeah. I just like her energy for sure. She really has like a positive aura, and that's what drew her to me. Like when I was watching her debut, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other sort of favorite memories or just sort of aspects of her as a content creator, that things that you were really eager to tune in for, or just things that you're going to remember even after she finishes streaming as Sana?
Yeah. I have checked out like is it it was like the Hollow Council cover of Hikaru Nara. Yeah, that one was like, I really like the song, like for sure. That was a really great song. Like everyone just sang it together so well, and I also like the anime where the song is from, for sure.
For sure, an iconic song, absolutely.
And then there was also her original song Astro Girl. Like with that song in particular, it just really felt like like the happy energy that was like going on in there, and then it was like really wholesome. Like towards the end, like you see Sana with all the other council members. So
yeah,
it was a really great song. Like especially shout out to Snow's House too for working with Sana on the song. For sure, it was like pretty good. I'll definitely have that song on repeat even after she graduates. I think it's like on streaming platforms too, so you can like listen to it there too.
Yeah, and then Ophi and I were discussing it a little bit earlier, and it's just, it's a beautiful, fun song already. It's one that gained new meaning after the announcement of her graduation, but talking about the animation and just that it starts off with her being in space and being alone at the start, but then she finds her little bread buddy, but then she starts finding the other members of council, and it plays sort of on the lore actually, because she finds Crony and Bay out in the cosmos, because time and chaos are going to be concepts throughout the universe, that those things are not going to be inherently bound to Earth, and that she is not alone. She finds others along the way and creates these friendships, these relationships, and that eventually the three of them end up at Earth, and they find Fauna and Mume here on Earth, society and nature being things that are more innate to the planet Earth, and that they all come together, and that you have that last shot of the five of them looking up at the sky. And that was actually one that they recreated in the VR stream they had a little over a week ago with the small models, that at the end of the stream they pan up and you see the 5 colored stars, each being the colors of one of the council girls, and that one is lifted actually pretty shot for shot from Astro Girl.
Yeah, that was like pretty good. Like how everything like came out together for the music video. And yeah, the animation was like pretty well done, like you said. And yeah, the way how it ends, like everyone's all together. You know, they're all happy. You know, that together. And yeah, that just goes to show like with Counselor, like everybody just got along together great, and that's what made them like more enjoyable to watch. Like in my opinion.
Yeah, just seeing how genuinely they enjoy each other's company. That obviously that's going to loan itself to any given collab, but it was just it was so strong and so apparent from the beginning that even in their first couple of collabs and streams together, that you could tell they really had been working together prior to their debuts, and that obviously they've only gotten closer over time. That you see their streams nowadays, the one that they had about a week ago, and even the ones preceding the graduation announcement, that as a cohesive unit, that they all have so much fondness and respect for each other, and it's part of what makes it all so charming, really.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the Small Adventures Link Your Wish that was like back in March. Like it featured like the Holomyth members. It was like an animation from Konoru.
Yes, yeah.
That?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool when I watched that as well, and seeing that the council members were on there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, Sana was like right
Sana
there.
in particular
like,
had the moment of
yes,
of just found out in the cosmos, and her BEEG form being so much larger even than the ship that they were all in, and that they really played that up. And
yeah, and had to find her limiter. And whatnot, and then girl ended up having it.
Yep.
it was fun. Yeah.
I need to go.
It's like a 12-minute animation.
Yeah, that was really good. I need to go back and rewatch that because it has been a while. I really enjoyed just it's the first extended, just custom animation with voice acting that's been done. That you have Konoru doing a whole bunch of animations where it's taking audio clips from their streams and then putting it to new backgrounds, and they still have the context, but it's either super exaggerated or done to be extra fun. But this was a ground up production, that there was a script, a storyline, and that you had everyone appearing. And even though they only had their Halloween outfits, so to speak, because if memory serves, those models that they had were initially made by Konoru for Myth or Treat, and that's what they used.
Myth or Treat. Yeah, that was another good one too.
And that's what they used. That's what Council used as their go-to VR models up until they had the new ones just last week, because it's all they had. That's what they used for the Christmas collab that you had at that point. Myth with their Wolfie small models, and that Council was in those sort of silly Myth or Treat ones, and it still worked. It was still a wonderful collab. If you've not seen the 2021 HoloLive English Christmas collab, cannot recommend that one enough. So much fun seeing all 11 of them just interacting, being festive, and the fact that you have none of them in their normal models, that even the small ones obviously are those extra silly, playful, and stylized. So just a great stream and a wonderful opportunity seeing all 11 of them together like that.
Yeah, and then also what was it? It was like a cover they did, like the 12 Days of Christmas. Yeah, that was like another one they did too.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that one. That was fun, and it worked so well because there's 11 of them and they all sing the 12.
Yeah, that was pretty great. You get to hear like all of them sing like their parts and whatnot, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Do you have any favorite memories, whether it be ones from those specific streams or even Twitter interactions or just pieces of fan art even?
I would say like Astro Girl for sure. Like that's definitely like a song like I said I would definitely have on repeat. And then in addition, there's also that one cover that did with Sana, the Futari Boshi, that cover.
Yeah. That
one was a surprise. Yeah.
Making sure I'm not confusing it. That's the one that released just a week or two ago, correct? That it was the Tanabata one.
Yeah, the Tanabata one. Yeah, it was like a couple
Mm.
weeks ago. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And one thing that Sana and Ina have been pretty open about is that they knew each other prior to Hololive. You know, obviously, no specifics or anything, but just the mere fact that they were familiar, and it's not a Hololive first. That there have been others in the Japanese branch that were familiar with each other prior to joining Hololive, but it's a very special thing when you have that, because it certainly is not a common thing to happen with talents, and it meant that they had this very natural rapport already, that they were able to be just a little bit looser with each other because they had that level of comfort. And for them to come together and do that song, especially since it was released, I think it was a couple of days after the graduation announcement, it felt very special and very personal.
Yeah, that was really, really well said. Like if you like join Hololive or any other agency and you already have like prior interaction with like a Genmei or like someone else that's part of it, you know, it does help, like for sure, because you already have like that rapport as you mentioned, which is like really, really cool.
Yeah, that it's the type of thing that people naturally feel, and I think it's sort of fair to say that Ina, of everybody, was hit. I don't necessarily want to say more than the others, but in a particularly unique way. The fact that she did have this previous familiarity, and that this chapter is coming to an end is going to be unlike what the others are feeling, at least to a small degree. And them being able to have that song together, I think, was really nice. And obviously, they're going to continue to interact. All of them are. That it's one of the wonderful things about a VTuber graduation, that, you know, they're not passing on. The person behind Ina is still going to be around. She's still going to be able to interact with everyone from Holo-En, and that they will be able to continue to grow closer, even if we don't get to see those interactions. And it's the type of thing that, as a fan, that makes me very happy, frankly. Just, you know, I don't need to see it. I don't need to know that. For me, the way that I interact with content creators as a whole is that, obviously, you know, parasocial relationships are a bad thing. That all I want from my content creators is I want to know that they're happy, and I want to know that they're happy, especially when they're not on stream. That people are able to be positive on stream. Sometimes they put on a happy face. Sometimes, you know, it's just easier to be happy when you're streaming because it's something that they enjoy. So knowing that, you know, even though she's stopping streaming as Sana, that, you know, it's of her own choice, and that she'll be able to continue to have those friends as a fan, that makes it so much easier for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you don't feel like as bad, like knowing that like Sana, even after graduation, she'll still be in contact with the other members. So that's like pretty cool. And yeah, it's like they're not forgetting about her, Sana. You know, Sana will be eternal, like in everyone's hearts forever. And yeah, she deserves all the love, like absolutely. Like during like the final days that she's still here.
Yeah, that the refrain of Sana is eternal. I think it was Callie who had that first tweet with that particular line. It's definitely one that is stuck.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and you know, it's really true, and it's very nice. For you in particular, is there anything about Sana that you're really going to remember? That even if it's not a particular moment, are there any aspects of her that just, you know, when you think back a year from now, 2 years from now, and someone brings up Sana or asks, hey, I just got into VTubing and Hololive recently, and I see that there's this member of council who's not here anymore. What are the things that are really gonna be top of mind for you?
As I mentioned earlier, like definitely like the positive energy that she brings, and yeah, how she's like so like heartwarming, I should say, like the way how she's loving and caring towards her Sanalites, and she can really sing as well. Like I would definitely recommend them, like the covers that she's done, and even like her original song Astro Girl too. because yeah, she could sing for sure. Like I do enjoy her singing, and yeah, and I'll definitely like recommend like some like Sana like highlights, clips, or like from her past streams, like just get a better idea of who Sana is, and yeah, hopefully like that person will get a better idea of how she is. Like even though after she's gone, like her stuff will still be there.
Yeah,
for sure. Her channel is not disappearing. So
yeah, that's the other big thing, that you can actually just refer them and say, all right, well, here's the channel, and you can really go through it all. If you wanted, you can watch from debut all the way up through graduation and really just see that full chronology. I don't know if you're necessarily going to spend that many hours on it, but that those options will always be there, and that it's an unfortunate side effect of the YouTube content management system that the member streams are going to be deleted after a time, but that's just YouTube and how they work. That's not a thing of Cover's choice or anything, but that fortunately there are still so many streams in the just under 1 year that we had with Sana, and that there will be all these memories to look back on and to relive. And even if you don't have time for that, goodness knows clippers have been doing their job since day one, and there will be plenty of those.
Absolutely.
Just throw in YouTube's Sana best moments or Sana clips, Sana reactions, that there's going to be all of those to see, and art, so many different ways to remember and celebrate the legacy of Tsukumo Sana.
Yeah, it has been like a pleasure for me to actually like react to Sana. So yeah, that's really like it was a pleasure, because like I've been there like ever since her debut, so I've got to see her grow like since then.
Do you recall any particular parts of your reaction? Because we sort of buried the lead there of that you in particular as a content creator, reactions are the primary part, I think it's fair to say, of your content.
Yes.
Do you have any particular memories of just the reaction? Obviously, we've sort of covered the pieces that are most memorable, but like looking back on yourself reacting, was there any part of that that particular video that will really stick with you?
Well, yeah, definitely like the Astro Girl reaction. Like I was like, I really felt like so happy when I reacted, because like the positive energy that you get, like that you just really feel happy like just watching Astro Girl and the music video, and like I just like seeing like Sana smile. It just really like put a smile on my face, and that really stuck out like a lot to me.
Yeah, absolutely. She does have a very, very good smile that I've been using different GIFs on Twitter when advertising the show for tonight, and there's so many to choose from, and it's just she is so expressive, not only in her voice, but she was also given a model that is so good and expressive, and just it does a wonderful job of conveying that sheer joy that she exudes.
Yeah, that's definitely what I love a lot about Sana. Just like she could put a smile on your face, like even if you have like a bad day and you just tune into Sana, and she just makes you smile, and that I do appreciate that, like for her for that, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're starting to get to the end of our time here, do you have anything that, if you could deliver a special message to Sana, what would you say?
I would say, Sana, thank you like so much for everything, like during your time in Hololive English as Holo Council. Like ever since you've debuted, like you've been a joy to watch. Like not just like the covers, original songs, but also like some highlights or like some streams that I've watched from you. And I truly believe that like that positive energy that you have will continue to go. Will continue to go with you even after graduation, and whatever you choose to do after you graduate, I do wish you the very best of luck on your future endeavors. I hope you're able to do or find something that makes you happy. Like as long as you're happy with where you're at, like after graduation, that's what make me happy too. That's what I would want to see. Like as long as you're happy, that's what really matters to me. So thank you.
Yeah, no, very well said, and that I couldn't agree more. Of just the concept of if you're happy, I'm happy, and like I said, that's I think one of the best ways that somebody can interact with a content creator, just, being that type of supportive and recognizing that, yes, this is her decision, and that while it's a bit sad, it's clear that she's sad about it, but that it is still the decision that she feels is best for her, and that we respect that, and we can only hope that she will be happy and successful in whatever she decides to do next. And it's so very clear that she has those skills and now has this incredible experience of just whatever she does next, that she's been in Hololive. She has been a Hololive streamer for a year and
almost
done
a year,
all the
actually.
things
Yeah.
that entails, and that's a lot. That is a truly unique experience, and it's something that, regardless of what she does next, that she'll be able to carry with her and bring it to her art, her content, her life. And that I certainly hope that she feels that she's better for it. I think she does. And whatever she does next, that maybe we'll end up seeing it, and it won't be Sana. It will be obviously the person behind Sana, but knowing that they will be out there and that they'll be either doing art or creating in whatever medium they so choose is an exciting prospect of its own. And knowing that one day you might be just going along on the internet and stumble upon that next reincarnation, for lack of a better term here, and that the person behind Sana isn't going away, that they will still be around, and that we just hope they live their best life.
Yeah, definitely. Very well said. Yeah, she's very talented. Yeah, she could sing, she could do art, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of open doors for her after her time comes. I truly believe she could easily find something that she'll be happy with, and she won't be gone. She'll still be around. So I do hope she'll do great things. She'll do great things as the person behind Sana. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, Moral, thank you so much for stopping by. 30 minutes has just flown by.
Time flew. Yeah,
yeah, just
Yeah.
blinking, boom, 30 minutes. And I appreciate you reaching out. That you reached out to me. It was last minute, but I was so happy to. I actually took a nap before the show tonight because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't tired or anything. And I woke up to the message from you saying, "Hey, saw this," and it was the type of thing that, at that 11th hour, I was not expecting to add someone in at the last minute. But I was like, it's Moral. I've seen him around. I know, even if we haven't really had a chance to interact at length before that, as soon as I saw that the request was from you, I was like, oh yeah, I can get Moral in. No problem. And, it's been such a delight, and for me, just a genuine surprise and a very pleasant one at that. So thank you so much for taking that initiative to reach out, Moral. I'm glad you were able to make it, and I do hope to see you around. So thank you again, and have a great rest of your evening, and I hope you enjoy the graduation stream and all the memories of Sana. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a great opportunity to chat with you for the very first time, and pretty much share my experience with Sana ever since she debuted up until now. So I really do appreciate you for having something like this for other creators, to share what they thought of Sana, the experiences, the memories, and man, I really like that. So thank you so much for that.
This is sort of this is my way of celebrating and giving back, and just sort of in a sense also it's my sort of coping mechanism in commiserating in my own way, that I'm not an artist. I'm not able to make anything to post on Twitter in that sense, but I did this for Coco, felt it was very successful. So it was in the middle of the graduation announcement stream that I caught wind of it a couple minutes into it, that I wasn't tuning in live at first, but tuned in for the last 2 minutes, and got the information I needed to get. And it was pretty instant for me of, well, I'm going to do a Sana appreciation stream. That's my way of celebrating and just allowing folks to come in and share their memories. And everybody is going to be celebrating and commiserating in their own way, and this is sort of how I do it. And it's it's been just a delight. So thank you for being part of this, and for being part of my way of going through all of this. So again, just absolute joy. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you around.
All right, thank you again. It was a real pleasure to be part of this. So thank you again.
All right, we'll see you around, Moral, and we have one more guest lined up. It's gonna be TATSURII. Let me just make sure that she's able to get in. Let me shift around the overlay, make sure that thing is where it needs to be. Thanks to everybody who's been sticking around through all the guests. And it's a bit of a routine. Oh, I see big Tatsu eyes.
Wow.
Hello.
Okay, cool. You can hear me. Okay, cool.
Yes. One sec. I still need to get your name tag up. Where to go? There it is. That's the one. Hello.
Hello.
I can see you and I can hear you, but you are very much zoomed in. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not.
Are you ready?
Yes. I am ready. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Broadcasting live from the cosmos with the limiter. It's TATSURII.
Hello.
Hello, Tatsu. Welcome on in. Oh my gosh, that's delightful. Did you find a limiter asset, or did you make that yourself?
I made it 5 minutes before I came on.
That's so good. Like, I'm not kidding, Tatsu. Post that on Twitter. Like, artists always post their different assets. I feel like especially for these next couple days, people are gonna want that. People are going to want that. Post that. Others will use it. I am certain.
Yeah, thank you. I was like 5 minutes. I'm like, wait, I need to make a limiter.
It's such a simple design, but it's the type of thing that not everybody has the time or ability to make even simple assets, and that just having access to be able to download that PNG and put it into VTube Studio, I'm sure there will be people who would really appreciate that. So highly encourage you to share that one around, because that's so cool.
Yay! I glad you like.
Well,
A long
welcome
time no
on
talk.
in. Yes, it's been a while.
Oh my
Yeah, no,
God.
that funny enough, the first time we spoke was for the Coco Appreciation Show.
Yeah.
And I think it might have actually been you that I learned about or inferred Sana's graduation from, because it was you or someone else that I was looking on Twitter, and I just saw someone post Sana ... and like I sort of had that sinking feeling and quickly went to check, all right, is she streaming right now? What's going on? And I could be wrong, but I think it was your tweet. And if it wasn't your tweet, that you had a tweet about Sana in pretty short order.
It was about this background, actually. It was when the telescope, the new one, was like releasing photos, and I saw this, and I was like, wait, it looks like Astro Girl, and I had to pull up the comparison. I was like, oh shit, Sana's actually in space. Oh my god,
Yeah, no, it's not just a random orange soda wave or something going through the cosmos. That this orange sea of clouds is a real thing, and that they work that into Astro Girl. And it's just it's one really cool that you use that as the background, but it was the type of thing that they released a picture of it, if memory serves, from the telescope, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Who knew? Sana's always around, guys. She'll always be around. Sana is eternal.
Sana is eternal. So for you, Tatsu, do you recall how you first learned or saw Sana? That were you keeping up with the debuts, or was it something that a little bit afterwards that you saw?
Yeah, funny enough, Sana's my Oshi in council, so hearing everything was like, oh. Yeah. So when they first announced council, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait, because I followed the Myth one, because I debuted around the same time Myth debuted. So yeah, council was like, oh yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. And then the funny thing, the thing that like made Sana my Oshi was the first thing she said when she first debuted after the loading screen, her lore video. She went spice, and I was like, I'm sold. This is my Oshi right here. I honestly, I had a phase for like a few months where I would just kept saying spice, spice, spice. Yeah. Just, yeah.
And then to hear the words spoken back from the cosmos itself.
Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I know that I was talking with the others earlier about Sana's debut and that how she had this really cool sort of transition video because that council had been announced by these 3 very cryptic lore videos that were all narrated by Iris, and that Sana, as the first of council to debut, leaned into that for her sort of starting video that she had her loading screen, but then went into this pseudo lore video that leaned into that same style, and like you said, it opened with spice.
Spice.
And sort of transitioning, bridging that gap from that cryptic mythological feel to the more conventional, you know, VTubing style, I suppose. And yeah, that was a big one, and also obviously her destroying Earth twice in an hour.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was amazing. That was amazing. Oh, and then her talking to the universe themselves. Oh my god, that was amazing. I love this so much. But universe, why this? And, you know, just a billion, gajillion, blah, 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 blah. And I was just sitting there like, oh my god, this is so cool. I never knew you could have a conversation with the universe. But yeah, you know, you always gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Sana's creativity. So good.
Are there any specific examples of her creativity, you know, above and beyond the lore video and everything that really, you know, stick out in your mind, that ones that are gonna stick with you? Oh.
Oh my god, okay, like, I remember watching her first Minecraft stream where she was just learning how to craft, and all of a sudden, like, if you look at her now, she has this big-ass tower, and, like, this beautiful house, and, like, so many floors, and the architecture and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, how? How? I can make dirt house. I mean, I could do that. I can't. Oh man, it's so
I'm
good.
an absolute beginner when it comes to Minecraft. I love seeing experts just, you know, pull stuff from their inventory, do the little arrangement, craft things, like, wow. And obviously, you know, she's come a long way, and she has created her BEEG tower, and I know that following her graduation announcement, that one of the first things she did was a Minecraft collab with a bunch of others and make sure that that was finished prior to it, and that will continue to stand in that Minecraft server, I'm sure, as, you know, that sort of for lack of a better term, the memorial of just, you know, that's Sana's space, pun half intended here.
Love the pun, love it, so good. Yeah. Also within the Minecraft, the Watasana Bakery. Oh, so
yes.
cute. That whole stream was just
and just
so fluffy.
I'm kind of surprised that somehow in all the memories that have come up tonight, one of the memories that is biggest to me has not really come up yet until you mentioned just now, of just Sana Bakery and her love of bread.
Yes!
Her love of bread.
Yes, bread!
And I suppose
Oh my
for you
God.
in particular, as you know, for those who aren't familiar with Tatsuri, first off, go follow Tatsu on Twitter and Twitch. She's amazing. But that she is a rice ball VTuber. She loves food. And that, you know, Sana and her love of bread has become a bit of a meme, but it's also just part of her brand. It's what, you know, the little dog is, that one of her pieces of merch that I think the merch sales are now closed, but that it was, you know, the bread dog, and she's done, she did a bread review stream with Ame, and she did a bread horoscope stream, like one of her very first out of the gate after her debut was a bread horoscope stream, which, what a delightful combination, that, as you know, the representative of space, the idea of doing some fun horoscope or tarot readings makes sense flavorfully, but the specific addition of bread that's all Sana. There's no way that management went to her and said, "Hey, so we think you should do a bread stream." No, that undoubtedly is just her, and it's such a outside the box concept, but I love it, and I love that she was comfortable enough that early to just go to that type of wacky place and play it up and have so much fun with it.
Yeah. Oh, the bread. Every time she mentions bread, I'm like, I must check it out. Especially after the Watasana collab, she gave a gift to Watame, and it was the Watapan. It was a bread-shaped sheep. And, I was crying. I was like, oh no, here we go. Here come the tears.
Yeah.
So cute.
As N Maniac for Snake says in chat, looks so much like a friend. It is friend shaped. Yes, indeed. That lovable little loaf of a dog is very much friend shaped.
I love it. I really wanted one, but they all sold out, and I was like,
oh no.
One day, I will find one. I'm just,
Yeah, and I love that. That's one of those things that it's undoubtedly her, and that it didn't have to become a thing, a meme. It became sort of part of her brand, and obviously she very much loves space, and you can tell from all the things that she's done that she just genuinely adores space and art and everything. But bread is just one of those quirky things that it didn't have to be a thing, but she made it a thing, and she ran with it, and seeing that the community liked it as well, let it be a thing as well. And I just really enjoy when those silly little things that could be one-off jokes take on a life of their own and become something so iconic. And it sounds like your doggy is agreeing to everything about Bread Doggy.
He's agreeing to everything. He's listening on the stream.
Yes.
So I was like in chat, my dog says hi.
Yeah, no worries. This is not the first time that a pet has made a guest appearance on VTuber Talk, and I'm sure it won't be the last.
It's funny, he's a loaf too. He's a corgi.
A true loaf. Yes.
Yeah,
his kind.
he's a loaf. Yeah. Also, Maniac, I agree. I would have loved a Sana Korone collab, because Korone is a baker, like a baker, right? Yeah. Has to do with bread, and Sana loves bread, and it's like, oh, it was such a good collab. One, maybe in our hearts.
in our hearts. Absolutely. Do you have any favorite streams of hers, or ones that, whether you were tuning in live or that you might go back and rewatch?
Yes, as you know, I am a Sana Oshi, so I tried to catch as many streams as I could, depending. One of my favorites was Nebula.
Oh,
the Nebula.
Oh my god, how did I forget about that?
I love
Thank
so
you for
much.
reminding me, Tatsu. I almost forgot about, the fact that she sent a letter to Yago.
That was so good. I watched that letter video too, and Yago was like, "This is amazing."
And the fact that I appreciate that Yago, as the CEO, he did not have to be the character that he is, but he saw that the community was taking a liking to him, and he allowed himself to be. He doesn't stream, he doesn't do much, but he doesn't have to do anything. He could just be, behind the scene guy, but he has allowed himself. He's the model for all the merch for the bread dog. Like, the picture is him with his face in the side of the bread dog, and like that he allows himself to have that fun. And that for those of you who aren't familiar with Nebula, actually, Tatsu, I'll let you explain this stream, this creation.
All I remember was just a big mess of it was a horse with a mustache. She was drawing it all on stream, and they said you're gonna send a letter to Yago about it. And then I didn't really watch that stream, but the stream where I was like, Nebula, what are you doing here? Was her kimono reveal stream. So all of the Hollow Council, just like Hollow Myth did, they all got like kimonos for the new year. And Sana was showing off her kimono. So there's this big like Japanese door that opened, and she was featuring all like parts of her kimono. But she didn't show off her head yet. So we were like, okay, she probably has this amazing hairstyle. as soon as she pulls down to show off her head, it was the freaking Nebula mask. And then all of a sudden the screen changes and the background was like Nebula debut, and this BGM was playing, and I was dying of laughter. I was like, oh my.
It's this ridiculous over-the-top horse thing. And obviously, since it is made by Sana, the representative of space, it's going to be Nebula. It's only appropriate. First off, just, brilliant naming. I don't know if that was something from her or if she saw it in chat, but Chef's Kiss, such a good name, and that she debuted Nebula, but also that there was this letter that was sent to Yago asking, demanding that Nebula be, was it that it was petitioning for Nebula to be added to council, or Nebula to become canon or something, and just...
Yeah, something along those lines, yeah.
It was so fun, and that she actually... I assume it was emailed to Yago, but that Yago then had this short little recorded video where it was him reading this printed out version of this letter and responding to it, and I forget what his exact response was, but he played along, and it was delightful.
Yeah. I remember his little giggles. I was like, oh, Yago! Oh, best girl, Yago! Oh! Oh, I wish there was more Nebula. I wish there was more. It was so good. And the rigging too. I was so surprised.
That there was actual rigging, and obviously it's going to be easier to rig a flat design where it's just it was drawn 2D. It's not this multi-layer thing where you need to worry about the head turning and everything. But it was rigged. I don't know if it was Sana or if she got somebody else to rig it, but Nebula was rigged. Or maybe it was sort of stapled onto her design. I'm not sure, but yeah, she went that extra mile for it, and I respect the commitment to the bit.
So good, so good. I love Nebula. What else? Other Sana streams. Oh, I liked. I'm a big fan of artists. So the other Oshi of mine in Hololive is Ina.
Yep, the dynamic duo, the artist duo.
Yes, the artist duo. I love artists. So anytime there's a artist VTuber, I'm like, I'm on you. I'm watching you. I just love watching people do what they're good at. So watching Sana do her emote stream, I was freaking out the whole time because those emotes are so cute.
They are very good.
I
And
love them so much. They put a lot of love into their emotes too, and to have the community just use them, I feel like it's a very fulfilling thing for them because it's something they created for the community, right? So it's like, and then the Sana art when she drew herself, the big booba. I remember I was like, oh yeah, let me look at that stream again earlier today, and the first thing I looked at was just zoomed in on the booba. I'm like, what?
Well, she had that anatomy appreciation stream. I was talking about it earlier. It just and the part that delighted me was the academic approach she took to it. That it truly was just she was dissecting the different parts of, commenting on oh, the lighting here of this is really good technique of getting the lighting and the shading, or the way you have the squish here. And the attention to detail of, yes, this is how the body and skin works, and ends up looking, and
the
just
V-bone.
And that she obviously Mume and Callie were also very much appreciating the more obvious elements, but the fact that they did really actually get into the weeds and have that more detailed analysis. I feel like Sana didn't do a ton of actual art drawing streams. At times I would forget that she was an artist, that she did the art for the Hollow Council tapestry, their first piece of merch. She did the art for their small models, and obviously that's not her showing off her full skills, that's doodling for her, but those reminders of, yes, one of her big skills is that she is an artist and that she is a dang good one. And she and Ina having a connection prior to Hololive, that obviously details never discussed, but that they have been open in that they were familiar with each other prior to joining Hololive, and that them having that extra layer of their relationship as members of Hololive VN, because I'm pretty sure they're the only two that had previous interactions. I could be wrong, but at least to my
That
memory,
were mentioned. Yeah. That
Yeah,
were like actually
um,
mentioned. Yeah.
yeah, and that it was very apparent, and I think they admitted it early on because they were like, we're not going to be able to keep this secret for very long because of just how we interact and the things that we say, that we're just going to put this out in the open that yes, we have spoken previously, and that you know, for us as the viewers, it created that extra layer as well of being able to really appreciate their interactions and the uniqueness of it, and the added layer of them both being artists and having, you know, softer spoken styles that they each have their own personality, to be sure, but you know, in the sliding scale of volume in Hololive, that they tend toward the quieter type normally. But obviously, you know, Sana also has the moments when she finds Rayquaza and starts screaming and hyperventilating.
I remember seeing the clip for that, and she cut out. And Ina's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And all he hears, yeah. And the fact that they bonded over Pokemon too was very cute. I like that. The
Yeah.
fact that Sana beat up Ina in Pokemon.
Yeah, and this is when they were younger, that it wasn't even, we've discussed, I've discussed with a couple of the previous guests tonight the Pokemon tournament that Sana went in clearly overestimating the competitiveness, and that she kind of swept the floor with everybody, and that she very handily won that tournament, but that there was a specific conversation when it was her and Ina of Ina remembering, you did this to me before as well, where you beat up on me in Pokemon.
So good. So good. What else? There's another point I had, but it was in the middle of all of it, but then I forgot what it was.
We'll remember. But in the meantime, you know, if somebody comes to your stream, you know, a couple months down the line, a year down the line, is like, hey, I just got into VTubing and I was looking up Hololive, since, you know, it's Hololive, it's big names, and I saw that this was there's a streamer called Tsukumo Sana, and, you know, what was she like? Were you around when she was streaming? What are the things you're really going to remember that for somebody who might not have experienced Sana's streams live or been around while she was active, that what are the things that you're going to really remember and tell people who might not be familiar about her, about what was so special about Sana?
Well, one thing's for sure, her happiness is contagious. The little like joy she has during stream, like when she like was talking about Kirby, it's like, oh my god, it's so cute and round and all this and all that during all her Kirby streams. You could not help but smile. It was very cute, super cute. She's also mega talented. She can draw and she could sing. Astro Girl, oh my god, stream that. Oh my
Stream
god,
Astro Girl.
It was at like 400k, and now it's at like over 600k.
It's like 600, 650k. That you can tell folks have been listening to it in the time since the graduation announcement, and you know, it's not going to hit a million or anything prior to graduation, but it's the type of thing that you can tell people have really taken to it and are appreciating it on this entirely new level, because, as has been said a couple of times already tonight, it was a fun and delightful and heartwarming song to begin with, prior to the graduation announcement.
Yes.
But the moment she announced her graduation, you go back and you listen, and the meaning changes entirely, and it's still so heartwarming. But it's the type of thing of just the two mantras I feel of the past, you know, 18, 20 days. That 20 days of Sana was the hashtag that the Sonalites have been using for content for the time between the graduation announcement and her graduation. That Sana is eternal, and you're not alone, or she's not alone. That they did a karaoke stream. It was last week sometime, and unsurprisingly, she got a little bit choked up during Astro Girl, but one of the things that she did was she modified the lyrics, that when she sang it, it wasn't "I'm not alone, Faye was saying she's not alone. And that hit me. Boy, did that hit me.
Yeah, I was also listening to Callie senpai. She also sang Astro Girl, and I could not help but cry during that stream too. She's like, "We love you, Sana. Sana's eternal," and she sang it with Sana's vocals in the background, and I was like, I love how much love they're sending to Sana.
Yeah, that it's the type of thing that as I said at the top of the stream, we're not going to speculate on the reasons for graduating, but we're so fortunate that she is being able to get this proper farewell tour, because obviously it doesn't happen all the time, and she being the first member of Whole Live English to graduate means that this is we had this last year for Coco, and Coco was iconic, that she was just this larger than life personality, and she really bridged this gap between Japanese and English languages for VTubers, and that for a lot of folks, that she was one of the first people that they watched. But it's a different scenario here, because Sana was obviously all English, or primary English. That she spoke a little bit of Japanese, but she was all live English, and that there's a lot of folks that are in the community now that may have experienced the graduation of Coco that didn't see her debut, or might not have followed her as much because she was still primarily speaking Japanese. Whereas for here, that it's a little bit closer to home for us here in the English-speaking community, because Sana has been somebody that folks would be able to watch with that little bit more of consistency and regularity and grow fonder of, because there isn't the language barrier, quite frankly, and that she was able to end things on her own terms, and that she and the folks at Cover were able to be very agreeable, that the graduation announcement was this is her wish, that obviously as Cover they want to make it very clear we're not forcing this, we do not want her to go, but we are respecting her wishes, and that they are giving her that farewell tour, that farewell treatment that they gave Coco, doing right by her. And it's been very, very nice to see, and we're a couple days out from her graduation, and it'll have to be at least a little bit different, because she doesn't have a 3D model, which Coco had, so it'll be interesting to see what types of differences there are there. But I'm sure that there's going to be something very, very nice for her graduation stream, that there won't be a dry eye in the house.
Oh yeah, bring your tissues. Bring your tissues. Amazon might have them on sale, so
yeah. That it's just we're celebrating tonight, and that it's like you said, all of the council members, all of the whole IVN members were very supportive of her, saying Sana is eternal, that we're still gonna be friends, and that it's that behind the scenes they'll still be able to talk, they'll still be able to interact and game and have fun together, even if we don't get to see it on stream. And that's very comforting, I think, and just this is the best case scenario, frankly, and you don't get it every time, so you learn to appreciate it when you do get it.
Yes. Also, shout outs to Holocrum, who was Sana's clipper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love whenever I miss a stream, I always go to Holocrum and just like, okay, let me see what I missed. They were always on top of everything. Shout outs to them for always clipping Sana till the end. But it's never the end, because Sana's eternal.
Yes,
Sana will
indeed.
always be around.
And that the fact that she did the VR 3D models, which was like, oh my gosh, and I love the fact that she could take off her limiter and get BEEG. That made me
Oh
so
my god, that was the
happy.
best part. Oh my god.
And
As soon as she did it, I screamed. I was like, oh my god.
Here's folks, if you have not seen this VR collab debut that they had last week, go watch it. It is just, 2 hours of the most heartwarming stuff you've ever seen. That it's Council and Iris all together, and they're exploring this world for the first time with these new models, testing them out, seeing their expressions. Because previously, I was discussing it with Moral, actually, that they had the Myth or Treat sort of monster Halloween ones, and they were fun, they were cute, they served their purpose. But it's so much nicer to have something that, I love that it's different from this, that it's their own small style. That I love Wolfie's style, don't get me wrong, Wolfie is amazing and iconic, but the fact that they have their own unique spin, and then the added layer of that it is by Sana, just makes it so special. And that every time they use it, that Sana's gonna be there, and that as an artist, that's one of I think the coolest ways for her to be remembered and represented is literally through her art. That will be, in a very literal sense, used continuously from here on.
And the fact that there are still like little things from the Halloween collab, like Crony Head.
Oh yeah. I love that they kept that particular mode.
Crony Head, that was cute. That was cute. Oh, that whole 3D street. Oh, I loved everything. Like the whole like landscape. They had the council room, but it led to this beautiful garden with the statues and chairs that you could play musical chairs with. That was so cute. And the fact that there's still much to be done with the place, so they could still go back and like reminisce and be like, oh, Sana. They can visit the stage again if they ever have to do like another like Council Iris
a little concert.
Concert. They could do it in the Sana room. Yeah.
Yeah, the VR collabs are some of my favorite. That it doesn't matter, if it's Myth, Council, people from the other branches. That heck, actually just today, Hollow ID Gen 2 debuted their own small models. It's by another artist. I'm blanking on the artist's name, but if you do hashtag HoloRo, HOLORO, that you'll find it. And I love that small models in VR are becoming a thing, because it's that stopgap of, all right, cover recognizes that getting those big full 3D models takes a lot of time, and that you usually need a lot of extra equipment, and that it's going to be more complex. But the fact that they are allowing these third parties, these fans, to help contribute, and we don't know the exact arrangements of if there's payment going on, but whatever it is clear that the artists have signed off on it, that it is it's an agreeable arrangement. They are able to come to some arrangement to have these small, playful models made, and that they get the endorsement of cover. Yes, we will allow our town to use this on their streams, and even if they don't have the big fancy 3D ones, that this still allows them to do VR, have that access, that angle for their content creation, because that unlocks so much. And while the Myth or Treat ones are good, simply having even a small model, even if it is a chibi one, it allows them to be so much more expressive, and that's a whole new realm, literally, of content creation that they now have access to.
Yeah. Can you imagine all of HoloLive in VR? Just like smalls, all the chaos. Instead of having the Minecraft event that they have. Sorry,
yeah. Oh yeah,
in VR.
Oh my gosh, I never considered that.
That'd be amazing.
The idea of, because they have I forget what it's called, like Sports Festival, I think. That it's the Minecraft Sports Festival, which if you're new to HoloLive or VTubing, that the HoloLive Sports Festival is something they've now done, I believe, 3 years running in Minecraft, and that it's think pseudo Olympics, that they break the talent into like 5-ish teams, and that they have all these very creative games that they do in Minecraft. But that's a really interesting prospect, Tatsu, that you bring up, of them being able to do it in VR. That currently not everybody has small models, that it wouldn't work to have some in their big, full, tall 3D models and some in small. But it makes you wonder, all right, are you able to do something sort of at scale where you can get an artist who's just going to be able to churn out a whole bunch of these, because you assume that the rig is going to be pretty consistent throughout, and that at that point it's just going to be doing outfits. And obviously that's going to take time, but it's going to be simpler than the more customized ones, because the custom rigs are, you know, everything from their exact heights, sizes, everything like that, whereas the small ones, apart from a couple details, are going to be uniform and therefore much easier to make in quick succession. That the idea of a VR sports festival is very intriguing. I think that would be super delightful.
Yeah, they'll need to figure out like server wise like what can hold who, or like how they have to plan things, what games they can do and stuff. But it'd be
it's an
terribly
interesting
chaotic.
Oh yeah. But and for folks watching, that if you have not seen like the Christmas collab for EN, because it was all 11, I mentioned this one earlier, super delightful. Or the more recent one with Council and Iris, that any 3D collab, those are gonna be some of the best ones. The way that they're able to interact, the Holomyth first anniversary one that you had them on stage, and that what has become iconic moment of the virtual hug, which we now know has finally happened IRL, but you know that was for a long time, because obviously, you know, we're still working through it IRL, even if it's not as bad as it used to be. But well, you know, you do have to remember that part of the backdrop of the rise of VTubing has been the fact that people have not been able to interact IRL as they have in the past. And the fact that they're able to do that even in this virtual sense is so powerful.
It's limitless. It's limitless. Whatever they can do. Oh my god. It's limitless. You know which happened. I know the hugs.
Oh yes, yeah. That Ina finally has collected all of her hugs, and you know, obviously with Sana being in Australia, that it's made it a bit difficult for her to do IRL collabs with the others. But you know, hopefully in the coming months or year or whatever, that you know, even if it isn't an off collab, off stream, that you know, her name isn't gonna be forbidden, that they can say, all right, hey, all of Council's together and Sana's here, and she won't be on stream, but that they can say, you know, hey, I saw Sana, or you know, Sana came to visit, and that they will be allowed to do that.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Sana is eternal.
Indeed. And it's 30, like we're already way past half hour. I'm able to do this a bit more with you because you're the last guest. So I know that I'm not keeping anyone waiting, and you were super patient. That you know, thank you for waiting and for hanging around and for being part of this. The last
Thank you for
big
having me.
Oh no, honestly, just such a pleasure to have you back again, and that you know, as you said, Sana is your Oshi, and that I knew right away, just from seeing your tweet, I was like, if I'm doing the Sana show, I need to make sure to specifically reach out to Tatsu, because I put out an all call on Twitter, but you know, you don't see every tweet that is made by every account you follow. That's just how the Twitter algorithm works.
Sadly,
that you
sadly
don't
how it works.
see everything. But I didn't know that she was your Oshi specifically, but I could tell that, you know, that you were impacted by the announcement. So I was like, okay, need to make sure to reach out to Tatsu. So also learning that, you know, she is your Oshi makes me even happier that we were able to work this out, and that you were able to be here, and that you were able to be the finale here, because we know that Sana does mean that much to you, and that, you know, seeing an Oshi graduate is a sad thing, but you know, as we've said, Sana is eternal, and that we're happy that she is happy.
As long as she's happy, I'm happy.
And the last question that I've asked everybody else: if you could deliver a special message to Sana, Tatsu, what would you say?
How do I do this without crying? Hang on. Oh dear. Thank you for the past year, Sana. Your happiness has reached me in many ways, and I hope that you continue to be happy no matter what. Thank you for for your bread. Thank you for all the fun streams. Thank you for being the star in everyone's life. May Sana always be eternal. I love you so much. Okay.
It's all right, Tatsu. That it was a question for me that was, yeah, it was basically meant to get that reaction. Sorry, I had to do it. I had to do it.
It's okay. It's all good. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I'm okay.
But seriously, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your memories, your passion, and just being part of this BEEG celebration for a BEEG personality that we are all going to remember so fondly, and that even if the time with Sana has been shorter than what we would have liked, we're just so fortunate to have had this time at all that, it's sort of weird to say, and I'm not somebody who really believes in fate, but you need to realize the possibilities that exist in time and space of just a lot of things had to align to get us to Sana debuting in the first place, of just any number of decisions in Sana's life. Sana's decision to apply to Hololive, the folks in the scouting hiring department at Cover recognizing Sana's potential, and just whatever decisions led to the design choices, because we don't get full transparency into, all right, to what degree are the roles pre-made and then they find people that fit those roles, or do they have a broad concept and then find talent and then hone in on concepts from something broad. But for whatever reason, for whatever sequence of decisions in life, in artistic decisions that led to us having Sana in this form, in this time, happened. And that we're lucky to be in this particular timeline for having it at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Sana is eternal.
Sana is indeed
Sana
eternal.
is eternal. We love you, Sana.
Mm.
The days went by way too fast. It did not feel like 20 days. It did not.
And part of it being that she's been busy and that she did not stream all 20 of the days, that a lot of it was compressed into that first collab cram week. So, it felt a bit different in that way, that with Coco's we had that she did basically one collab a day for a month. And it was very consistent. And on the other hand, with Sana here, we had her doing 2 to 3. I think she maxed out at 4 collabs in one day. That she knew, for whatever reasons IRL, that she was not going to be able to stream this particular week leading up to the graduation, with the exception of, I think she's done 1 or 2 collabs on other folks' channels, but that she very much, as the name suggests, she crammed the collabs into one weekend. That I think it made it go by that little bit faster because it was a bit more compressed.
Yeah, but I'm so glad she was able to collab with a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And share some final memories with them before
there's some great
graduation.
moments, some great clips that the bread stream with Ame, just like we mentioned, the anatomy appreciation stream with Mume and Callie, that all the stops were pulled out, that she was able to have that farewell tour, and it's so clear that she made the most of it.
I'm glad. And now we're gonna wish her our best this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like I'm going to be away with family, so I'm not going to be able to watch the graduation live.
Oh no!
Actually, I'm trying to remember. Do you know what time it is?
I didn't see a time. Wait, did she post it?
I don't recall. She might not.
I haven't looked into it yet.
Thing,
okay.
If it's an early morning one like Coco's was, I can probably watch it on my phone and just be able to watch it that way. But if it's a midday or an evening one, I'm probably just gonna have to watch the VOD, which kind of sucks. That I woke up at 6 a.m. my time for Coco's graduation.
Same.
And I would absolutely do the same. But even with family IRL, it's not gonna happen. But I hope that you're able to tune in live. I hope that many others will. That at the very least, the VOD for that will be saved, so I'll be able to watch it after the fact, even if not live. And yeah, I'm gonna have to prepare some tissues for myself, I'm sure.
Amazon might have a good deal.
Yep. Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, Moral says, be there for Sana's graduation stream or watch the VOD. Yes, indeed. But thank you, Tatsu. Thank you, Moral. Thank you, everyone. Ria, Ophi, Ark. Cannot thank you all enough for being part of the Sana Sendoff show. That, as I was saying, this is sort of my way of commiserating and celebrating that I'm not able to do art. I'm not able to make a beautiful music box piece to commemorate Sana and all the things that she's done. So my little way of doing things is just organizing and, giving people that forum to commiserate, both for my guests and hopefully for the folks in chat or for anyone who might be watching after the fact, that whether this is, I'm assuming this is not going to make it to YouTube until after the graduation. I'm going to try, but maybe not. But regardless of if you're watching before or after the graduation, that, this is my little way of remembering and memorializing the time that Tsukumo Sana was part of Hololive. And while she's still going to be around and I'm sure doing amazing things, that this is the end of this particular chapter for her. And it's inevitably going to be just a little bit sad. And, I've always been somebody whose coping mechanism was being with others, regardless of, what type of sadness it is, of just to be with others, to celebrate, to talk, and just that's the way I operate. So thank you for being here for me in that sense as well.
I love you.
Love all you folks as well. So thank you so much. I'm actually one of those rare occasions where I actually get to decide who we're going to raid. Who are we going to raid tonight? But regardless, the raid message is going to be Sana is BEEG raid. Sana is eternal.
Oh, I like that.
There we go. It's going to be a nice, simple one there. Let's go with, because, there's obviously nothing exactly like we're doing here that usually you would look to, who's playing a similar game or something like that. Let's go with, I need to actually refresh that to make sure I know who is and who isn't live. But I think we go with, yeah, okay. All right, somebody else just ended. So let's go with your, with one of your fellow members of Shira Yuri. Phoebe is streaming right now, so we're gonna raid Phoebe. So, again, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Tatsuri. Thank you, everybody else, just in chat, every guest, everyone who's watching after on YouTube. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. YouTube, hi. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz.
Hi, Mom.
But
Mom?
also be sure to follow all my guests. The links are going to be in the video description on YouTube, and links have been up here on screen all night. So be sure to follow everybody that stopped by tonight. They're all fantastic content creators and just wonderful personalities. I'm honored to have had them here tonight. So again, thank you all so much. Continue to celebrate and remember Sana. The time we had with her was something very special, and even if it's over a little bit sooner than we'd hoped, what a time it was. What a time it was. So, thank you all so much. This has been the Sana Sendoff Show, a very special episode of VTuber Talk. If you want to follow me here on Twitch and Twitter, you can. It's just /VTuber Talk. I usually do shows once a week. I'm going to be away next week, so 1 week off, but I have a couple already lined up, and there's a lot more fun to be had. Usually it's not quite as sentimental as tonight, so hope you'll stop by again. But even if you're here just to celebrate Sana, thank you for stopping by at all, and thanks for being part of the community. So thank you all, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll be raiding Phoebe in just a moment.
Bye.